systems. This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. As the NFL Referees Association continues CBA negotiations with the league, it's getting support from the NFL Players Union. The NFLPA, in a statement, said it opposes using replacement refs because the risk of injury will rise due to less experienced officials who are more likely to miss calls or respond late in critical moments. Celtics Heat tip off the Wednesday NBA doubleheader on ESPN, 7:30 Eastern. Boston's second in the East, and don't be surprised if it's in the NBA Finals for the third time in 5 years, says two-time NBA champion Norris Cole.
I don't know who it can be if it's not Boston, because any given day, any team can be beaten. I mean, Detroit, they played well most of this year and kept the number one seed, and they have to get credit for that, but they haven't been proven yet in the playoffs. The Knicks are like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Some days they look like contenders, and then other days they look like they can lose in the first round.
Norris Cole on ESPN Radio. Doubleheader caps off with Spurs Warriors. NHL leading Avalanche will be without star defenseman Cale Makar for a few games due to an upper body injury, starting tonight versus Vancouver, 8:30 Eastern, ESPN+.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Thursday, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles are at a crossroads. So will they ever win another Super Bowl together, or is a breakup inevitable? We'll discuss it on Sportsman, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock! Go!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Welcome back, Paul. Hey, Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day.
It's hump day.
Hey, Paul.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Hey, Matt.
Hump day.
You remember what buttons to push?
It's hump day.
I'm going to try my best.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
How's baby Matthew George Moscona O'Neal IV doing?
Hump day.
I'm sorry, what?
It's hump day.
Your son.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
You mean Miles?
Yeah, that's what I said. Baby Matthew George Moscona O'Neal IV.
It's hump day.
How's he doing?
I have no clue what you just said.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Lies!
Hump day.
Lies!
It's hump day.
Welcome back, Paulie.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Thank you.
Are you sleeping at all?
Actually, not.
Hump day.
Not too bad, yeah. We're getting good sleep.
It's hump day.
How's Opal?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
She's doing pretty good. Adjusting,
Hump
but
day.
good.
Muse is still trying to figure out his buttons over there.
It's hump day.
He's new to it.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I see nothing's changed.
Yeah.
Hump day.
Yeah. Did you think it would?
It's hump day.
Nope.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Paulie knew to wait.
Hump day.
I know the cues.
It's hump day.
How's Sam?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
You're doing really well. Very good.
Hump day.
Good. Glad to hear.
It's hump day.
We welcome to the world, baby, Matthew George Moscona O'Neill IV.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Happy for all of you.
Hump day.
Thank you.
It's hump day.
See, he didn't deny it. Muse told you.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
He definitely denied it early. Yeah, he said that.
Hump day.
He just went along with it.
It's hump day.
All right, we got a lot to do. Paulie's back. A dad times 2. We're glad to have you back, dude. Let's get cranked up here and begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Well, that was almost really ugly. For like 2 innings. LSU got down 6-1 to Southern. If you weren't watching, Jaden Newt was not very good. He did face the minimum in the first. They had a caught stealing after he allowed a single, but faced the minimum in the first. The second got hairy. Tigers gave up 3 runs. Then Chris Stanfield had a very uncharacteristic misplay in the outfield on a low liner that he was charging and went off his glove and ended up being a 3-run error. So LSU found itself down 6-1 very quickly. But then Derek Curiel blasted a grand slam. LSU was within 6-5. Milam hit a solo shot to tie it. Rains came. It was about an hour-long weather delay. They resumed at 9:50, and then LSU just never stopped. A 7-run fourth, 5 runs in the fifth, and then they would go into run rule, the Southern Jags. A little bit of a feel-good in the belly as the Tigers will now head on the road to take on Tennessee. Here was Jay Johnson after the win against Southern.
Yeah, I was proud of our team. Did a good job tonight. Didn't like getting behind again, 6-1, but handled that really, really well. Thought it was a great night for the offense. A lot of guys contributing, a lot of free passes, a lot of extra base hits, a lot of clutch hitting, a lot of good situational hitting, and it was good to be able to help out the pitching that way.
Maybe LSU's offense is like Seabiscuit. They got to be behind so they could stare the other horse in the eye and then charge. Right? Maybe they're just not a good front runner. Maybe they got to get down 7-0 to Kentucky or 6-1 to Southern, then to go on and make hay. Jay said took a lot of walks. They did. They walked 7 times. LSU was hit by pitch twice, so Southern pitching gave LSU 9 base runners. But in just 7 innings for the Tigers, 6 at-bats, they scored 16 runs on 13 hits. So LSU did to a SWAC school what a team like LSU should do to a SWAC school. There were 2 other, I think, notable parts of this game. One was Cade Arambete's return, and it was great to see him back out there. Here was Jay on Arambete being back behind the dish.
Very happy. We need him. Both him and Omar, I think, are good offensive players, and, they're going to stay good offensive players if they can spell each other on the defense. And so it was good to get him back in there. And I liked his first swing, RBI single with 2 strikes, walked early in the game, scored a couple runs, and that was really, really good to see. And again, you put him in a situation like that where that's the 9-hole hitter, you could lose track of him, and he can drive in runs and be a productive player down there.
Very capable. We know he's got big-time power. Jay said on his radio show Monday that Arambete was dealing with a little bit of a nick, and so they gave him a couple days off this weekend. He was back out there behind the dish, which was great to see. He mentioned caught a runner stealing in the first inning. He was 1 for 3 with a walk as well, so he was on base twice. The 2 times he was retired were both strikeouts. But you need Cade Arambete, for nothing else, for options, to have a more veteran presence behind home plate. I think Omar Cerna is the future and is going to be outstanding player. Already is outstanding offensive player at LSU. But you need Arambete back there as well. So to have Arambete back was a great sign going into Tennessee this week. The other is, LSU is looking for guys out of the bullpen in particular that can throw the ball over the plate. It's been a real bugaboo for this team. They are pacing to set the program record for walks in a single season. They collectively walked 20 over the weekend against Kentucky. So if you can find someone who can go out there and throw strikes, great. And Danny Lockenmeyer did that. Went out there, gave you an inning, faced the minimum, did have a strikeout. And after the game, Jay Johnson effectively said, you're going to see more of him moving forward.
He's pitched 3 times in the last 4 games and has had success. Got Tyler Bell out the other day in a huge situation. one of the best players in the country, and then, got an out in the game on Friday. So excited to get him out there more, and he'll become a bigger part of our plans.
I'm curious to see what that'll look like or what that means, and perhaps what that is in this moment here where Cooper Moore is out and everyone has sort of moved up a notch. If that's Gavin Guidry moving from the bullpen to the starting rotation, or if maybe if they want a lefty and it's Garcia, then maybe a guy like Lockenmeyer becomes one of those bullpen arms that sort of steps up a notch. You're looking for guys that can consistently take the ball and throw strikes, and he's shown now the last few times he's been out there that he's capable and deserves the opportunity. Now, throwing a clean fourth against Southern on a Tuesday night in a game that was rain delayed is dramatically different than taking the ball on the road in Knoxville in a key SEC series and going and hurling a clean inning and throwing strikes. But you deserve the opportunity when you got to this point. So he'll be the guy that gets it. So LSU beats Southern. They'll hit the road to take on Tennessee this weekend. We'll talk to you more about the Vols as we move through. We'll talk to Kendall Rogers on Thursday, and then obviously have a full preview on Friday. But actually, we're not. My apologies. Friday's Good Friday. We're not here, so we'll do our full preview tomorrow on the show on Thursday. But it is, it's going to be a very interesting series because what we think we know about Tennessee and what they had become under Tony Vitello is different now with Josh Elander. The pitching coach is now the head coach. They don't hit it quite like they did under Vitello. They just got swept on the road at Vanderbilt where they were walked off 3 times. Two teams right now that really need a series win, especially Tennessee after being swept on the road against Vandy and playing this one at home. So a giant opportunity for LSU and a pretty desperate moment for Tennessee this weekend. So we'll talk more about that series tomorrow. For what it's worth, I mentioned Kendall is going to be here on the show tomorrow for his usual Thursday spot. D1 Baseball does have their field of 64 projection out. And for whatever it's worth, they do have Tennessee among the last 4 in. They have Vanderbilt among the first 4 out. And then they do have LSU as a 2 seed in the Charlottesville Regional. So that's Virginia, right? So Virginia would be the host there. And they got where Virginia would be the number 5 national seed. And they got LSU as the 2, UConn as the 3, and Bucknell as the 4. That regional will be paired with Tuscaloosa, where they have Alabama as the 12 overall seed. So, look, when you have this many SEC teams that are potential regional hosts, generally you're going to see some of those supers paired, or the opportunity for supers being paired. But in any event, they got LSU as a 2 seed in Charlottesville. So maybe betting on the come a little bit with this LSU team that struggled out the gate. But hopefully looking up with an opportunity this weekend going to Knoxville. All right, it's After Further Review. Show Open Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU. If you're going to be watching Tigers and Vols this weekend, make sure you have plenty of delicious ice-cold Bud Light. Certainly a lot of crawfish boils on Easter weekend. If it's Easter Sunday or if it's on Saturday or Good Friday, you're going to be boiling crawfish. Make sure you have plenty of delicious ice-cold Bud Light. The Tigers will be playing. You might as well grab those officially licensed LSU aluminum cans or bottles, the 16-ounce bottles that have the national championship logo. I tell you all the time, get 2 cases. One is a keepsake, one to drink, or as many as you want to drink. But drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us here on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. John Brady in 1 hour, of course, former Tiger coach. I want to get his perspective on Will Wade's return. We'll do that next hour. A former Tiger, Alex Milazzo, will be here in hour number 3. Milazzo and the Tigers in 24 went through a similar process that this team has, coming off a national championship, slow out the gate, built late. See if you see some similarities, and also what he sees from these 2 young catchers. We'll talk about that with Alex coming up in hour number 3. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Zach Wilson did an interview on WWL Radio. Let's hear from the new Saints quarterback when we return on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Watermark and the Renaissance. Watermark downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Renaissance right there on Blue Bonnet near I-10. It is the premier place in Baton Rouge to host an event, no matter what type of event you're trying to host. Remember, their grand ballroom can host crowds up to 500 people. So, whether it's, Greek life events that they've had there, fundraisers, awards banquets, so many different uses for that space. Wedding receptions, weddings. Renaissance Baton Rouge can host any and all of it, and they'll use and manipulate their space however they need to fit the size, scale, scope of your event, catering the whole thing. It's at Renaissance Baton Rouge, and the convenience of Renaissance Baton Rouge is really unmatched. I mean, we all know directions in Baton Rouge begin with get on I-10. Well, right there, I-10, Bluebonnet near I-10. Check them out. It's Renaissance Baton Rouge.
It's not easy to be a champion.
It's built from every swing, pitch, and game all season long. In the grind, the focus,
and in the recovery.
FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake experts provide best-in-class care for our state's world-class athletes. Because it takes a champion to care for champions.
I trust the lake to keep me at my best.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
At Parrish, we take pride in building roofs that last, because championships are built on commitment, not just on the floor or the court, but your home too.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. No, the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
Lockmere to Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lockmere to Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
That the NFL is hard. I mean, no doubt about it. It is hard to play well in this league, and to just be in the league is such a blessing. And so for me, you know, it's just enjoying being out there on the field and making good friends and doing my absolute best I can to be the best quarterback I can be, and just love playing ball, going out there and competing. And the story is, I'm grateful for it, no doubt. I mean, it taught me a lot of things about myself, and it's helped me become a better person and just understanding how the NFL game works. And I think it's a great experience for me.
Zach Wilson, interview on WWL radio. He must have been in a state with a no handset rule. You know what I mean? The hands-free, like California's got a hands-free law.
Yeah.
You have to be on hands-free. If you're driving and you're holding the handset, boom, arrested. Under the jail.
Under the jail.
Yep. Mama didn't raise no fool. But Zach Wilson, of course, we know, signed a free agent deal with the New Orleans Saints. And, I mean, he's bounced around from his time with the Jets, where he was the number 2 overall pick. Denver, Miami, out of didn't play. and then now obviously to New Orleans on a 1-year contract where he'll battle with Spencer Rattler to be the backup quarterback. It'll be interesting to see. When Zach Wilson signed with New Orleans, kind of gave you a thought on that addition, and I really like it for all the reasons I've said when the Saints added Jameis Winston, when the Saints drafted Spencer Rattler, and kind of what Zach Wilson said there, which is the journey and the humility. There is something to that. When you have these athletes that are so physically gifted and have never really struggled in their life, and they meet adversity, I think you go one of two ways. They're very notable. You could say busts. If you want to talk about Ryan Leaf or Jamarcus Russell, notable examples of guys that went the other way. They met adversity and were not able to overcome it at a young age. And then you have other players, like maybe the best example is the quarterback that just won the Super Bowl, who was also a Jets cast-off, and Sam Darnold. I'm not sitting here trying to suggest that Zach Wilson is going to go on, be a starting quarterback somewhere and win a Super Bowl, but nobody would have thought that of Sam Darnold when he was cast off from the Jets and then had this sort of nomadic journey from Carolina and San Francisco and then to Minnesota and then obviously landing in Seattle and winning a Super Bowl. That's uncommon. That's unlikely to happen again. But the fact that it's happened shows you that you can find value in quarterbacks who are physically gifted and maybe thought to be just sort of thrown on the trash heap, but the right place for that player could mean a great opportunity. Baker Mayfield is another awesome example of that. A guy that was the number 1 overall pick, won a playoff game with the Cleveland Browns. I mean, the Cleveland Browns are infamous right now for that stupid jersey with all the names of the starting quarterbacks of the Browns since they became a franchise again in 1999. And Baker actually won a playoff game with that team, and they're like, nah, we're good, you stink. And so then Baker starts bouncing around the league. Carolina, the Rams, join the Rams midweek and end up starting for that team. Goes to Tampa and finds himself and ends up winning a couple of division titles. And now he's a really established starting quarterback in the NFL. So it can happen. And so I look at guys like Mac Jones, who was fantastic in relief of Brock Purdy this year when Purdy was injured in San Francisco. And I wonder about that with guys like Tua or Kyler Murray. And, yes, Zach Wilson.
Murray, present.
Thank you. I think the runway's getting shorter for Zach Wilson because now it's not just one spot. We've seen it in multiple spots. And you could say the same with Darnold, and to a degree that's true, but Darnold had a great year in Minnesota. I mean, they won 14 games in 2024. And Minnesota had J.J. McCarthy there, who they had drafted, and they were going to commit to their first-round pick. And so Darnold went to Seattle and won a Super Bowl. But we just haven't seen that at all from Zach Wilson. From being out of New York after 3 seasons, being traded to the Broncos and not playing in 2024, then this year in 2025 with the Dolphins, and now with the Saints. I mean, he's on his 4th team since 2023. It's four teams in as many seasons now. So I don't know that I'm suggesting Zach Wilson is going to become a starter again ever in the NFL or become a good quarterback. But what's undeniable is you have a guy that's only 26 years old, still in his physical prime, has the ability, the physical ability that made him the number 2 overall pick, and has been humbled at this point, and now maybe can find lessons and value in that humility that'll make him a better player to whatever that ceiling might be for him in the NFL. And maybe it's just a journeyman backup, or maybe he will find a path like Baker or like Sam Darnold did to be somebody's franchise quarterback. Now, he did answer in this interview what was appealing about playing for the New Orleans Saints.
A little bit during the process, I was just looking for something different, maybe a little different offense than I've been a part of in my first year, something that maybe fit me better. It's always been important to me to find a coach that's played the position, that understands what it's like to play quarterback in the NFL. A place with a younger room that has opportunity, and, that made it easy with Kellen. I felt like he does a great job with that stuff, and Scott and Doug as well, and I think it's gonna be a great opportunity.
That, of course, being Scott Tolzien, Doug Nussmeier, when you look at the quarterback coach, the offensive coordinator, then Kellen Moore. You have 3 NFL quarterbacks that are on the Saints offensive staff, And, we have talked about this a good bit over the last year plus since Kellen Moore's been the Saints head coach, and I've long lobbied to have a veteran backup quarterback in the room to help sort of tutor and mold your young guys, but also to have a veteran backup option. But the counter argument to that has been, well, you've got 3 former NFL quarterbacks coaching. And I don't know, I guess I just sort of look at examples of like Drew Brees, who liked having that sort of veteran or young veteran backup quarterback. If it was, Brunell or McCown or Chase Daniel, that when he came to the sideline, he had someone there he trusted that he could bounce things off of. But I guess to each their own and different strokes sort of thing. But the other thing with Zach Wilson, he's 26 and Kellen Moore's 37. So they're only 11 years apart. And maybe there's some familiarity and sort of relationship there that makes sense. I also thought it was – can you play that one, though? This was Zach Wilson talking about why having a coach that played quarterback was important to him.
There's something about it that watching how the game unfolds, you never quite understand until you are in it. Like, watching it is entirely different than being in it. And so having a coach that understands what that's like and understanding what made it harder for them and being able to simplify that and help their quarterbacks make it easier and finding what things helped them as a player and made things more comfortable, whether it's footwork or timing or things that they coached or how they coached, what they felt like they learned easier than other things. And so I think it's that aspect of it. A lot of coaches in this game have never played the position. They're just super smart and do a good job with scheme and all of that stuff. But as far as teaching the position and helping guys develop, personally, I feel like you need to play the position in order to do that.
I think that's a little bit of a challenging comment. Maybe not to be a head coach, but maybe someone who's played the position to coach the position could make a little bit of sense. I think there are certainly examples of quarterbacks that won with coaches who weren't quarterbacks, but you need someone on staff, maybe is what he's alluding to there, who has played the position to be able to coach it at a high level. In any event, again, there's an interview that Zach Wilson did on WWL radio, and the other thing we talked about was sort of this journey that he's taken, but he also, of course, is following a similar path of Sam Darnold, as we just alluded to, as a cast-off from the Jets, who then went on, bounced around, and then won a Super Bowl. And so he was asked specifically about that and learning anything from Darnold's path.
Obviously, I love rooting for guys. I think the league is tough in general, and it's always cool when you see those kind of comeback stories from guys. But, for me personally, it's just focusing on being the best player that I can be and, not being too hard on myself and just understanding the league is tough as it is and just trying to keep improving. And the opportunities I can't control. So if those ever present themselves, I got to make focuses at.
So Sam Darnold's last year in New York was the COVID season, and then that following year is when the Jets drafted Zach Wilson. So they cast off Sam Darnold after the COVID year. The 21 draft, they select Zach Wilson, 3 years in New York, and then it was Denver, Miami, and now New Orleans in the 3 subsequent seasons. So we'll see how the year in New Orleans may go for Zach Wilson, or if he even makes the team. But it's going to be an interesting storyline to follow, especially with the recent history of highly drafted quarterbacks that were cast off by the team that drafted him, that went on to other places and found some degree of success. So that's one that we'll continue to follow. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. southpointvw.com. Remember, you can always get to the website, shop their inventory. Right now, 2026 Jetta, 3.49% APR for 72 months. That's 6 years, y'all. 72 months is 6 years. And you can get it at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland, or southpointvw.com, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. At South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. We're going to knock out a quick break. No Taylor today. He had a bounce on us. No biggie. We're going to knock out a break. We'll go around the SEC when we come back. In an interesting piece that sort of assessed the one metric that illustrates the widening gap between the Power 4 and the G6, which I think we all know that's happening, especially in the portal era. But this metric sort of puts some definition to it. I want to explain. We'll get to that next. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Duplessis Builders. If you want that backyard oasis, that backyard paradise, that outdoor oasis, you can have it. And even if maybe you already have a pool, but that pool is dated or it's leaking, it's time for an upgrade. At Duplessis Builders, they do remodels as well. So if you don't need to dig the hole in the ground, you just need to remodel your pool, Duplessis Builders can do that for you as well. And it doesn't matter if it's pool, outdoor kitchens. They have pergolas that they can do as well, putting greens. So many options to help make your outdoor space a showplace where you'll love to entertain and enjoy being outdoors for years to come. It's DuplessisBuilders.net. That's the website. You can always go see Derek and the crew at their showroom on Airline Highway in Gonzales. If you go south on Airline into Gonzales, on the right next to the new Rouses, that's Airline and Duplessis Lane. DuplessisBuilders.net.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Lockmeyer to Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lockmeyer to Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
It's not easy to be a champion.
It's built from every swing, pitch, and game all season long. In the grind, the focus,
and in the recovery.
FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake experts provide best-in-class care for our state's world-class athletes. Because it takes a champion to care for champions.
I trust the lake to keep me at my best.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
We'll go around the SEC in just a quick second. One of the things I think we would all acknowledge undeniably is that the gap between the Power 4 and the G6 is growing. I think we all know that. I mean, it's an objective truth. The best players in the G6 end up jumping to the Power 4 where they're going to make more money and be on a bigger stage and all that stuff. It's one of the things I love about the portal era is you can have A.J. Hulsey, who coming out of high school at 18 is not a highly recruited athlete. He goes and plays 3 years at New Mexico and Houston, becomes an all-conference player, and now has the opportunity to make money and play on a bigger stage to give himself an even better opportunity at the next level. I don't know why I literally don't know why anybody would be opposed to that. Because at 18, someone wasn't as developed as they are at 21. And so because of that, you should be more limited than someone who is further developed at 18. That's just nonsensical. So yes, I love the portal and the opportunity that presents, and I think that the G5 or the FCS should be a training ground for everything else, just like everything else in life is. So I have no problem whatsoever with that. It just means you have to, if you're a FCS or G6, you just have to reassess how you build a program and just understand that that's the guy you're recruiting and saying, come here. Will Wade did this at McNeese. I interviewed Will at McNeese, and he said this point blank. He wasn't upset about losing guys. That's what he recruited to. He told guys, hey, come here. We're going to do this for you. We're going to put you on. You're going to play 32 minutes a night. You're going to score 18 points a game. And then next year, you're going to get a big payday and go play in the at a major program. Great. And we'll keep selling that. It's just how the world changes. So you can complain about it, or you can adjust accordingly. Anyway, I thought this put some definition to it. Hat tip to Chris Hummer over at CBS. So what he did was he looked at all conference players for the 10 FBS leagues and looked at the first or second team all conference honors and how many returned the next season. So 29% in 2025, 29% of the first or second team all-conference players at the G6 stayed at their school. The 73% that transferred ended up at the Power 4 level, naturally. By comparison, 75% of Power 4 all-conference players who returned in 2026 stayed with their previous team. So it's a gigantic gap there. If you want to sort of break it down even further by league, if you're looking at returning transfers among all conferences, so you just look at how this chart sort of inverts, okay? If you look at the Big Ten, there are 16 players that were all conference in 25 that are returning to college football in 2026. So some of them are like Caleb Downs, all conference. Well, he's going to the NFL, okay? So 16 players in the Big Ten that were all conference in 2025 are back in college football. None of them left. 0% left. The SEC, 22 are returning. 1 left. ACC, 6 out of 14. The Big 12, 10 of 23. You start to see that number rise. The Mountain West, 10 of 20 left. The Sun Belt, 13 of 18 left. That's 72%. In CUSA, 22 of 30 left. That's 73%. In the MAC, 18 of 24 all-conference performers left. That's 75%. And in the American, 18 of 23 first or second team all-conference players left. That's 78%. So you can see there how the inversion of the conferences when you're talking about the best players, the all-conference players, and how they're staying or leaving. Literally none of the returning first or second team all-conference players in the Big Ten left. 1 from the SEC left. 6 from the ACC, 10 from the Big 12, 50% Mountain West, 72% Sun Belt, 73% CUSA, 75% MAC, 78% American. And I'm not mad at it. How could you blame anyone? And if you want to shout loyalty, then I'll tell you the same thing I say every time. You want to shout loyalty, hold coaches and everything to the same standard. And then you get this garbage about, well, coaches are employees and they're under contract. The players have contracts now too. The players sign contracts, revenue share contract agreements. Their scholarships are contracts, by the way. The players are signing contracts that have buyouts. Why do you think Damon Williams is still at Washington? He had a $4 million buyout. Darian Mensah, right now. Duke's suing him. Cincinnati's suing Brennan Sorsby for breaking their contract. Don't tell me there's no contracts. They all have contracts now. You can have the ostrich effect and put your head in the sand and pretend like it doesn't exist that way. But everybody that wants things to go back to the way they were, you're realizing all you're doing is wanting to revert to a system that caused this now. You're never going back to the way it was. If you don't like this, then find a new system that'll be acceptable and approachable for everybody. But if you think going back to the way it was is the answer, it'll never happen because the players are never going to go back to the way it was. You can't feed somebody filet mignon and then want them to go back to red beans and rice. Shout out Jacques Doucet. It's after further review. You can email us, tweet us, or text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Speaking of, go get filet mignon at Rouse's. Probably get red beans at Rouse's as well. You can certainly get crawfish at Rouse's. Hey, I know Easter weekend is a giant crawfish weekend, right? People do crawfish boils a ton on Easter weekend. At Rouse's, they have both live and boiled crawfish. So if you want your live crawfish, if you're doing your own boil, get your order in for your live crawfish now at Rouse's. Don't wait. The Rouse's nearest you. They'll have live crawfish for Easter weekend. If you prefer to have your crawfish boiled by somebody else, go pick them up at Rouse's. You can do that on Easter. We've actually done that a couple of years now as our families. You have family moves away, celebrations, gatherings get smaller time to time. We've done that the past years, gone over to my folks' house. Dad just rolled over to Rouse's, picked up 20 pounds of crawfish or so, and then we'll go have a little appetizer, as it were. Either way, Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com. Rouse's. This feels like home. Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Georgia Bulldogs.
Kirby Smart updated Gunnar Stockton's injury and his recovery. Says he's progressing nicely, ramping up his activity day to day. Although Kirby did not disclose the exact injury, Gunnar is apparently right now competing with his teammates. 14 games as the starter last year, led Georgia to the college football playoff and the SEC title.
The Oklahoma Sooners.
Oklahoma lost commitment from 2028 running back Micah Rhodes, who's the top running back for the class of 2028. Former Oklahoma running back coach DeMarco Murray was hired by the Kansas City Chiefs. So with DeMarco Murray leaving for the professional level and the primary recruiter there for Rhodes has decommitted from OU. He had previously committed to OU over Texas and Texas A&M.
The Florida Gators.
Center Olivier Roux says he'll enter the transfer portal. Remember, he's the 7'9" preferred walk-on, played 11 games this past season for the Gators. Scored his first career points in Florida's win over Merrimack. The tallest college basketball player in history to score a game. 2 seasons in Gainesville, played sparingly as he was kind of reviewed as a project. But Root is hitting the portal.
The Missouri Tigers.
Guard Sebastian Mack says he'll enter the transfer portal as well. Played 18 games for Mizzou this past year. Averaged 7 points and 1 board per. Shot 40% from the floor. Spent 2 years at UCLA before transferring to Mizzou. Wasn't the only Missouri player to enter the portal. Fellow guard Anthony Robinson is also in the portal.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
And Josh Elander gave an update on injured catcher Stone Lawless. If you missed it over the weekend, got hit in the face. So he had a fracture, a facial fracture in his nose when he was hitting his left eye by a pitch in Sunday's series finale against Vanderbilt. He is a redshirt sophomore. He is expected, according to Elander, to miss quote significant time. I'm sorry, that was from GoVols 247. He's expected to miss quote significant time. Elander said, quote, he looks better. He did not play, obviously, in the midweek game. They're trying to figure out once the swelling goes down what the next steps will be. 6'2", 222. He's a redshirt sophomore from Huntsville. Started 21 of Tennessee's 29 games this season. Was hitting 250. Half of his hits have been for extra bases, but Tennessee going to be without Stone Lawless for a while. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. YourGoodwood.com, YourGoodwood.com. If it's hormone replacement therapy, if it's one of dozens of different peptides to help your body optimize to be your most efficient, vital self, to have great waking energy, clear brain fog, maybe bring down some, if you're maybe dealing with the ability to build muscle, to burn fat, to sleep better at night, to reduce anxiety. Peptides are a supplement that aren't replacing your body's natural ability to do these things. It magnifies, it amplifies your body's natural production of those materials that help do those things. It's worth taking the time to learn more, and our friends at Goodwood can help you with it. YourGoodwood.com, YourGoodwood.com. All right, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here, y'all. John Brady in 30 minutes from right now. We'll get Coach Brady's thoughts on Will Wade returning to coach the LSU Tigers, and are there any players on this roster worth returning? What realistically could be an expectation year one? We'll do all that with John Brady coming up here in about 30 minutes from right now. We're glad you're hanging out. Football Tigers are back on the practice field Thursday. We gave you a report yesterday to let you hear from Lane Kiffin. There's a few other things that I wanted to circle back to from Lane, his media availability. So we'll do that in about 15 minutes. Don't you move. It's AFR.
After Further Review.
What a great time to get by Clegg's Nursery. Man, what an awesome opportunity to do something fun with your whole family. Maybe it's, you and your spouse, or maybe get your kids involved if you got young kids still at the house. Go plant a vegetable garden. I mean, there are few things better than garden-to-table fresh vegetables from your garden. And they got Johnny Naylor seeds over at Clegg's. If you're a green thumb, you know about Johnny Naylor. If you're not, go to Clegg's. You'll get it. But they got this whole wall of seeds. So you want to plant your own vegetable garden, really fun activity. Listen, touch grass, ground yourself, get your hands in the dirt. It's great exercise, get some natural vitamin D, get outside, breathe fresh air, and then do something fun with your kids and also educational. And teach them responsibilities. They care for this vegetable garden as well. Clegg's Nursery can help you do it. Or maybe you just want to add that pop of color here or take care of the weeds in your lawn. It's Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar, but instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Fly ball to left has Castellanos back towards the corner and the wall, and it's gone. Matt Chapman's first home run in 2026 puts the Giants on top 4-0.
After being swept by the Yankees, the Giants finally got in the win column. They beat the Padres on Tuesday night 9-3. That would be Tony Vitello's first career win as a manager in Major League Baseball. The Giants posted a video there after the game of the reaction from the dugout. Vitello getting congratulations from his staff, a lot of the players, guys coming off the field, dapping him up, giving him hugs, tapping him on the hiney. And then in the post-game clubhouse, the team presented Tony V with a little bit of a present. I don't know what there's someone's holding a dog. That's a real thing that's happening in there. I don't know what it's maybe a bottle. Is that Dom? I can't tell exactly what it is. It's a bottle of something. Maybe it's a little 1942 or something like that. But either way, they gave Tony V a little present as a congratulations on his first win as a big league manager. And we all know, I mean, this was a major story. He's the first manager ever to go straight from college baseball to being an MLB manager. And after being swept in the opening series by the Yankees, being shut out the first two games, it's sort of a rude awakening on a not very good, what's probably not going to be a very good Giants team this year. But, he also has left this Tennessee team with Josh Elander as the new head coach, and Tennessee is going to take on LSU this weekend there in Knoxville. The Vols right now just 19-10 on the season and 3-6 in conference play. I mean, LSU's 4-5 right now in the league, and that don't feel great. Tennessee just got swept by Vanderbilt and is sitting there at 3-6 with LSU coming in. So I guess it's interesting because of the conversation piece with Tony Vitello. Jay Johnson had media availability here on Wednesday. And with Vitello getting his first win and this being a big storyline. Now, of course, the opening game of the Major League season was Yankees at Giants, the Netflix game a week ago, and when the Yankees shut out the Giants. So Jay Johnson was asked about the possibility of one day maybe being an MLB coach.
Right now, I have zero interest in that at this time. Now, that's at this time. I haven't been offered an MLB job, is what I'll say. I'm fully into this, and there's a lot that we need to do to be the best we can be, and I want to be the best program in the country forever, So, I think it's cool. I think it's awesome. I'm following it closely. I mean, that was my team. I'm from Northern California anyways, so it says score you check, if you turn on ESPN.com. I'm very interested to see how it goes.
That certainly is a change in tone from Jay Johnson, who when he got the LSU job, he would often say it's the best job. Like, he would rather be the head coach at LSU than be the manager of the New York Yankees. But you heard him say definitively there several times, right now. He's not interested right now at this time. And he's watching it. He's interested in how it goes. Because I think what's very clear for all coaches in college in every sport is college is now more closely resembling the pros, where you have free agency and you have a salary cap and you have a lot of different considerations than you did in a different era. And when Jay Johnson came here, if you were the best recruiter and you worked harder than everybody to build relationships and get players and the resources that you have at LSU, you're always going to be the best. Now, Jay Johnson's missing on players at LSU because there's other programs that are spending more money. And one thing I know definitively is Jay Johnson is never going to stand by idly and watch teams that are inferior, coaches that don't work as hard as he does or aren't as good as him, pass him up because he doesn't have the resources to consistently win at the highest level. So I think that's why you have that little bit of hesitation there, change in tone in Jay. Listen, nobody wants to see Jay Johnson leave ever. Want him to be at LSU for the rest of his career. But for that to be reality, he's going to have to get the resources to be the best program forever, as he said it. And that ain't happening right now. And the onus is going to be on a lot of people around that program, that athletic administration, that university administration, maybe even the state, to make sure Jay Johnson gets what he needs to succeed so that way he stays happy for forever. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. We're going to knock out a quick break. Sports Center's coming up here at the top of the hour. I'll get you caught up on national headlines. When we come back, with LSU football not on the practice field today, we'll revisit some of what Lane Kiffin had to say a day ago when he met with reporters, including rebuilding that running back room, which I thought was interesting. So we'll revisit that we'll visit that, I should say, as we come back here out of the top of the hour. And John Brady in 20 minutes from right now. We're glad you're hanging out. Hour number 2 of AFR, staring you straight in the face. Don't you move. It's after Sports Center.
After further review.
Yo, get on by and see our friends over at Supper Club. Get your reservation at supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. No matter what reason you might want to go to Supper Club. I told you Saturday we had a fundraising event at Drew's school. When the fundraiser ended, we weren't ready to go home. So Eric and I and a friend went over to Supper Club. Didn't have a reservation. We popped in. We grabbed a few bar stools, had a few drinks, a few apps. Super easy way you could do Supper Club. Maybe you're celebrating an anniversary. Cassie, who was in with us yesterday, told you she and her boyfriend were celebrating 4 years. They went to Supper Club for dinner on Saturday night. If it's a wedding anniversary, if it's a graduation, if it's a birthday, if it's a holiday, if it's a just because the day ends in Y, it's always a great opportunity to get by Supper Club. And Chef Layton always doing an awesome job of adding new things to the menu. They got some new steak options coming soon. They always have the Sagrera cuts rolling on. Make sure you check them out. You want the best dining experience of your life, you want Supper Club. Get your reservation, supperclubbtr.com.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
It's not easy to be a champion.
It's built from every swing, pitch, and game all season long. In the grind, the focus,
and in the recovery.
FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake experts provide best-in-class care for our state's world-class athletes. Because it takes a champion to care for champions.
I trust the lake to keep me at my best.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
At Parrish, we're built for tough players and tough roofs.
Coach is tough on us about preparation, and Parrish brings that same championship mindset.
Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing.
ParrishBuilt.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. A Florida judge granted Tiger Woods' request to travel outside the U.S. and enter a comprehensive inpatient treatment facility. One day after the 15-time golf major champion said he's stepping away for a period of time to seek treatment and focus on his health. Yesterday, Woods entered a not guilty plea to charges connected to last week's rollover crash in Florida. NBA Spurs tonight seek to run their winning streak to 10 when they take on the Warriors, 10 Eastern ESPN. Other than continuing to chase OKC for the top spot in the West, there's not a lot San Antonio needs to do with the regular season winding down, believes ESPN NBA analyst Iman Shumpert.
They've already showed people they're contenders. They are showing people that they are part of this party. They are part of the Western Conference, whether they have experience or not. They have hungry guys, and they have a guy in Victor Wembanyama that wants to say that he is the number one player in the NBA. He is what people are coming to see.
Baseball, after a disaster of a start on opening day, Pirates ace Paul Skeens, a run, 3 hits, 5 Ks in 5. Pirates defeated the Reds 8-3.
When I want that big birthday energy, I grab Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy. It's Vanilla E, buttery cake flavor without the sugar, and it's easy to take anywhere. The Funfetti flavor is back on 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon. Crack open a Confetti Craze 5-Hour Energy shot today.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
I appreciate it, bud. Have a good one.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Milazzo. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. John Brady, less than 15 minutes from right now, get his reaction to Will Wade returning to be the basketball coach at LSU. We'll talk some Pels at the bottom of this hour as well. By the way, we put the reverse AFR karma on the Pels. They had won 5 of 6. We had Graf on the show. Since then, they've lost 5 straight.
Yeah, it turns out it can go the other way, right?
Maybe it's just... Maybe the AFR karma is not related to the Pelicans or the NBA.
Baseball exclusive, we thinking?
I don't think it's baseball exclusive because we talked about it with Kalen Shea.
That's true, Jim.
And Lexi Zeiss.
Yep.
So I think maybe it's just the Pelicans are beyond repair.
Maybe their curse, the curse that's on them, is stronger than AFR karma.
Maybe they're just beyond repair.
That could be too. That could be true too, yeah.
I mean, like, if you like whenever you have those demolition events where they, like, put dynamite in a building and they blow it up and it crumbles to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you do that, it doesn't matter if you're a good construction crew. You're not going to fix that. Like, it's demolished.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where the Pelicans are. Even AFR karma, I mean, there has to be a structure there to be able to help. There's no structure with the Pelicans. Maybe my thought there. Just a thought. Got it. Thanks. It's After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. We'll have media availability at practice on Thursday for LSU as they'll be back on the practice field. And Lane Kiffin met with reporters after practice on Tuesday. And there's a couple of position groups that he addressed, and I thought it was interesting the way he addressed it because it wasn't necessarily just about how that group is performing on the field right now, but it was more of a glimpse into how he's rebuilding this roster. Let me explain what I mean. We'll start with running back, okay? So we know that, look, you lost a couple of your scholarship guys, but they prioritized Harlan Berry, got him back. Caden Durham went in the portal, then they ultimately convinced him to return. So that's great. Your top 2 guys returned. But then you added 4 running backs via the transfer portal. But I think The key there is that the 4 guys you added, all of them have multiple years of eligibility remaining. So you're not necessarily going to have to go back in the portal next year to get running backs again, because your numbers, even if some guys leave, should be pretty good. So this was Lane on how they went about rebuilding that running back room.
With the running back room, there were not many numbers there left. And so to go in and add people of different ages, different skill set was really critical. So, and that'll be a very open competition like everything here. It doesn't matter if you've been here before, how many stars that you were, or where you're from. Okay, that's not how we evaluate. That's not how we do depth charts, right or wrong. It's just how we do it. Because I want to sit in here in front of the team and they understand, okay, if we're going to preach competition and how things are done, well, we want to see that happen. And I think over time you'll see players that aren't marquee names starting over maybe marquee names or recruits or stars and those things.
You heard him say, we're going to evaluate. It's one of the words that was one of our key buzzwords during that portal period. And you also heard him say of different ages. Well, Harlan Berry's a sophomore. Stacey Gage is a redshirt sophomore. Rod Gainey is a redshirt sophomore. Racing Guillory's a redshirt freshman. Caden Durham's a junior. So you can look at that room and realize Dylan Jones is a redshirt sophomore. You could look at that room and they all have multiple years of eligibility remaining, but you also have guys of varying degrees of classification. So even if after this season you lose a guy or 2 or 3 in the portal, based on what you do in your high school recruiting class, who you have returning, you're not going to have to go rebuild that room with 4 transfers again next year. I can say the same about wide receiver. This is one that I thought was maybe the most telling as a glimpse into how they're looking to rebuild this roster. Lane gave a long answer, but the question, and sometimes I think we're learning this about Lane, he's going to get his message, no matter what the question is, he's going to get his message across. Like when he was asked about the defensive linemen, he ended up telling a story about they had 6 fights in practice the other day and none on Tuesday, which had nothing to do with the question about defensive linemen, but it's just a message Lane wanted to get out. Well, he was asked, do you have, like, I think the way the question was asked was about adding guys that averaged 15 yards or something like that per reception, about big play receivers. That was the way it was asked. This is how Lane answered it.
Yeah, I think explosive plays are a very critical factor, always have been as you look at analytics, into winning games and being successful defensively, limiting them and having them on offense. And that's not just what you draw up. You got to have the players. So to add players that have made a number of explosive plays in the receiver room was important. We try to balance the room more. If you think of it as like, here's your cap number for a room, instead of being really top heavy with 1 and 2 and then not having depth, I think when we've been our best, it's because we've had 4 to 5 to 6 receivers that can all play really well. And so that's what we're striving for here.
All right. So he actually, think of it, forget the first part about the explosive plays, pick it up where he says, think of it like, having a cap. And do you want to be top heavy? Or do you want to have depth? He says we've been at our best when we've had 4, 5, 6. So pick it up there. Number 2, the next one.
I think we have a chance to do that with the players that are out there because then we're the best for the long run of the season and potentially into postseason. And I think you got to look at that, especially as schedules get harder with the 9th game. And basically here, the way it's set up, you really have 10 basically SEC games. So it's really critical the numbers that you have there and that you can stay healthy throughout the season. And when you go to your second guys, that you're still able to put pressure on defense.
Okay. I love that answer because it was a glimpse into what they did in the portal. Let me give you a very clear example. Okay. Cam Coleman was a guy that everybody wanted. From Auburn, former 5-star, freak show. Everybody wanted Cam Coleman. What I had heard, again, take my information, if you think it's good or bad, whatever, you decide, I don't care. What I had heard through those circles is that Cam Coleman's representatives were seeking $4 million. Now, I don't know if he got $4 million from Texas. I don't really care. Point is, he was asking for a robust 7-figure deal. I don't know what he got, and again, I don't really care. The point is, Lane is saying we didn't want to be top heavy. So he said, think of it like a cap. So if you're going through the evaluation process, and this explains how Kiffin and Billy Glasscock did this, as I understand it, they would assign positional value to that position group. How much, okay, what's your roster budget? How much do you want to spend on quarterback? What percentage on offensive line? What percentage on receiver, running back, tight end, defensive tackle, edge, linebacker, safety, corner, right? All that. What percentage? Well, if you have a budget for receiver, do you want to go take 90% of your budget and give it to one or two guys? Or do you want to go sign a dozen guys and let those dozen guys compete and identify 4 to 6 of the dozen that emerge and can all compete at a high level for you and give you great depth? Because the other thing Lane has said several times is, and he's alluded to this several times now, and you could tell this is on his mind. Talked about it yesterday. He's a very thoughtful guy. I don't mean thoughtful like considerate of others. I mean thoughtful like he thinks a lot before he gives an answer. He's mentioned the 9 SEC games, and if you end up playing into the playoffs and end up playing 15 or 16 games, then you're in a situation where you play a 12-game regular season, potential conference championship game puts you at 13, and then potentially 3 more playoff games. If you go have a bye and you go quarter, semis, championship, you could end up playing 16 games. Or if you don't play in the conference champion, you play 4 games, you could still play 16 games. Point is, if you're going to play that many games and you have so much of your budget at one position in one player, now you're a turned ankle away in a 9-game conference schedule and a potential 16-game season from being completely crippled at that position. So what he's saying is, I'd rather go get a dozen guys and hope 4 to 6 of those elevate and show they can perform at a really high level. And so my 1s are good, my 2s are good. If someone's out, someone steps up, and you have lots of options. And that's clearly what they did at receiver in this transfer portal class. Now, I don't know if it's going to work. We may look back and go, man, you should have gone all in on Cam Coleman. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. Like maybe Cam Coleman with Arch this year at Texas becomes this incredible duo, and Coleman wins a Biletnikoff and goes off for 1,800 yards, and Texas wins a national championship. You say, man, should have gone and spent $4 million on Cam Coleman. Like maybe that's the answer. I don't know. We're all learning this era, and everybody has their way of approaching it. Lane is telling you his and Billy's way of approaching this right now, and that's how they're doing it at some of these positions, and it makes a lot of sense. Now we'll see in time if that's the right approach, but he's got a pretty good track record so far. So I thought that was really interesting. As we look at the receivers and who's standing out, Jace Brown has looked really good, the Kansas State transfer. I think Jackson Harris from Hawaii has been running with the ones. I think he looks really good as well. Winnie Watkins is just going to have a lesser learning curve because he was in this offense a year ago with Lane. I thought Trey Wilson, the Florida transfer, former 5-star, looked really explosive on Tuesday at practice. But again, there's so many bodies and so many options, and you're 4 practices into spring. They got a long way to go, but a lot of guys vying for reps to see which of the, as he said it, 4 to 6 might emerge. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here on this Hump Day edition of AFR. We are brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com. If you're thinking of buying tires, if it's time to buy tires, make sure you go to Shawbills, or at least start at ShawBillsTire.com. ShawBillsTire.com, so that way you can shop name brand tires at wholesale prices. They're never going to be beaten on price. Say that all the time. It's part of the Charlie's Dozen. It's the price match guarantee. Buy tires at Shawbills. If you find that same tire advertised cheaper somewhere else, they'll refund you 125% of the difference. Just one of the many reasons why you should do business with Shawbills. Go to ShawBillsTire.com. Shop tires, schedule service, chat with an associate. It's all there at the website at ShawBillsTire.com. Shawbills, we keep you rolling. All right, what a week, y'all. Not only is LSU in spring practice, but, of course, LSU reintroduced Will Wade as the new head men's basketball coach. Former LSU men's basketball coach John Brady, now on the LSU Sports Radio Network, will join us when we come back to react to Will Wade coming back and what he thinks is a realistic expectation for Will short and long term. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Check out our friends at Glow Resources, GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. If you need to find the right people to make your business the most efficient, most profitable it can be, well, then you need Glow Resources. And yes, I love telling you about Glow because last year they were a top 100 local business in Baton Rouge, in the Baton Rouge Business Report Top 100. And while home base is Baton Rouge, they don't just serve Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Orlando, Mississippi, Texas. They got offices everywhere, and they serve businesses everywhere. So maybe you're an LSU alum and you move to Massachusetts and you run a business and you need help hiring. Well, Glow Resources can help. GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. Skilled blue-collar labor, professional placement division, GLO, glowresources.com.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Sometimes you ignore the signs.
Man, I had a great lunch today with Ronnie and Chad from River Parish Contractors. Awesome people and a great company. And, you know, if you're looking for work in, the industrial fabrication sector, one of the things that's most important is staying busy. You don't want to go work for a company that, is on a job, but in 2 weeks from now, when that job's done, you're laid off. One of the benefits of working with River Parish Contractors is they keep you busy, and they offer you overtime, and they have health insurance for their employees as well. So if you want to work for a great local company where you're going to be home at night, right, their work is between Baton Rouge and Chalmette. The shop is right there in Reserve. You want to be home for dinner, watch kids' ball games? River Parish Contractors. Check them out online to apply. rpcontractors.com.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
A miracle shot by Tucker won't go down. Back out with 3 seconds. Tucker will take another. He misses. And get ready, Indianapolis. Big Baby and Brady's bunch are coming to the Final Four.
God, has that been 20 years? What? The head of Brady's bunch, John Brady, now, of course, on the LSU Sports Radio Network. 20 years ago, Final Four in Indianapolis. Coach Brady led the team there. He's with us now. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing good, Matt. Doing good. But it was 20 years since Dale had went also.
Yeah,
so
86.
Going to the Final Four is not an easy thing to do, but it was a great accomplishment for a great group of local guys that did something really special, and I'm glad people still remember it.
Oh, man, they'll remember it forever. It was great to see Tyrus as well on Monday at Coach Wade's presser. And some fun memories. Man, when you think about that season, I'm going to get to the current in a second, but Like, if I ask you about that season, is there like anything that, and you get asked about it all the time, I know, but that immediately comes to mind?
Yeah, it was our 4 players from Baton Rouge and the other one from St. Martinville and one from Denham Springs. Our top 6 players were Louisiana, within 50 miles of town, and it was coming off the heels of Katrina, which people kind of forget. Katrina hit in August, and we were shut down. The school was shut down for about a month, and we had to find different places to practice. And I think it really brought those Louisiana guys closer together because all of them were affected in some way by what Katrina did to a friend or a family member or whatever the case may be. And they really, most unselfish team I've ever coached. And certainly you got to be talented, but when you can be unselfish and you don't care who gets the credit, you can do something special, and that's what they were able to do.
It's interesting that I hadn't really intended to go the way, but I'm glad you brought up Katrina, because there's always this theory, or there's just been this theory, I'm sure you've heard it as well, that, post-Katrina, which caused this great population displacement in Louisiana, it really affected the high school and youth basketball pipeline in this state. So maybe the way to ask it is, for Will Wade coming in now, do you think it's possible to have a team like your 06 team where a bunch of Louisiana guys could come together and be great at that level?
Well, it depends on how good they are, and I was fortunate, and I'm the first one to say that. In my whole tenure at LSU, our roster was really loaded with Louisiana players. You start with Stromile Swift all the way down the line. Our best players usually were from Baton Rouge. Brandon Bass, Glenn Davis, you just go. There's just tons of them. The state hasn't produced that type of player at that volume as it used to. Now, the reasons why, Matt, I don't really know that. I think sometimes it comes in cycles. But now with the portal and that type of thing, I don't think crossing state lines is as prevalent as it once was. Like, he grew up in Louisiana, he wants to play for LSU. That used to be the case, a dominating factor. Now, not so much with NIL and the money that's exchanged. I think it's more transactional than it has something to do with loyalty of where you grew up.
What do you think about Will Wade coming back?
Well, I've said this, let's back way up when they let Will go, when they made the decision to let him go. Back in that time, there were some schools that stood by their coaches that were in trouble. A couple of guys, they stood by. Either they fined them or suspended them for the first several games of the following year. And I was under the impression that's what they should have done with Will, because Will had it going as good as anybody ever had it going in his 4 years here. So I think that was mistake number one, and Louisiana people never forgot that, and it made them like Will Wade even more and create a following. And then for him to come back now, he's the only coach outside of maybe John Calipari or somebody like that, and we weren't going to get those guys. He's the only coach, if they were going to make a change, and once they decided to do that, Will Wade was the only coach that could unite the fan base, create excitement, and also have the opportunity to raise money for NIL. He's the only guy who could do that. So if the change was made, I think hiring Will Wade was, a slam dunk. The excitement's there. You got more requests for season tickets. I don't think anybody else could have done that except, 2 or 3 of the high major coaches, and they weren't coming here.
Could not agree more. John Brady's our guest. In the history of this program, there have been 3 Final Fours. Obviously, we mentioned you brought the team to one of them. Coach Brown brought LSU in 81 and 86. What do you think is the ceiling for this program?
I don't think you put a ceiling on anything. Why would you cap it and put a ceiling? I don't think there is a ceiling. I think you get the right guy and the right collection of players. You can get to a Final Four. You can even win the national championship. I think today, with the appropriate NIL dollars and the ability to evaluate talent, I think Will Wade can evaluate talent. I think when he was here, he still got about 4 LSU guys running around playing in the pros now of his time here. So I think he can evaluate. And with the NIL dollars I hear that they're going to put together, I don't know why you can't go anywhere in the country and get someone to play here. But I think, as I've always said, this transfer portal and all of that is about evaluating players and knowing who can and can't play. It can make you or break you. If you miss on the portal, you're in real trouble. If you hit on the portal, it can change your season in a heartbeat. And that's why it wouldn't surprise me if LSU goes to the NCAA tournament. I'm not putting any pressure on anybody, but it wouldn't surprise me if LSU goes to the NCAA tournament next year, because I think Will can construct a roster that's good enough. But now you only have to finish 10th or 11th. It's not like you got to finish in the top 4 or 5. You finish 10th or 11th in the SEC, you're in the tournament. So the goal is to go 7-11 or 8-10 in the league, and you got a shot. So it wouldn't surprise me next year if LSU does that.
You were over this program for more than a decade, so you know as well as anybody what percentage of the fan base is rabid about basketball, who the boosters, the money people are, the resources, etc. What resources do you think are there? And I'm not specifically, Coach, asking you to give me like a number, because I even asked Will and Heath Schroyer that on Monday point blank, and they didn't put a number on it, so I don't expect you to either. I'm just more asking, knowing this program for as long as you have, as deeply as you have, what resources do you think are there for men's basketball at a place that is so dominated by football?
Resources as it relates to what? What are your idea about resources?
I don't know. I'm more asking you your opinion on that. Like, what do you let me ask? What do you define as resources that you would need to win?
Well, I think it's flipped now. It used to be an arms race. We had to have the best locker room, a new practice facility, a great arena, all of those kinds of things. The arms race, when you weren't really buying players and paying them a significant amount of money like they are now. I'm not saying schools didn't help guys here and there and do certain things for them or their families, but that wasn't the primary reason someone came here. I think now if your NIL dollars are comparable with the rest of the teams in the league, particularly the top 4 or 5, I don't think there's any. I think that's really all the resources you need.
Okay.
The PMAC is good enough. It's not the best, but you don't have to be the best facility now. You don't have to have the best practice facility. Those things are really nice. You have to have some of that in place. But certainly, if I had to make I went to a meeting of Alabama last year. Some of my buddies are high up in giving to Alabama basketball, and so when we played over there last year, I went to a Tide Pride meeting before the basketball game.
Don't tell me they got pictures of you over there in that Tide Pride meeting now.
And Nate Oates looked at me and says, "What are you doing here?" He said, "Oh yeah, you're with your buddies here." I said, "Yeah." So, but Nate Oates, they were building a brand new practice facility, and they were talking about doing something with Coleman Coliseum. Nate Oates said, "If I have to choose between redoing the Coliseum here, I would rather you give that money to my NIL. The practice facility is what we need. We didn't really have one. It was an adjacent gym to Coleman Coliseum. They've got a state-of-the-art practice facility now where players can hang out and do some things and be comfortable, get their hair cut and all kind of stuff." But he said, as far as redoing this arena, I think if we had to stretch dollars, I'd rather you put it in NIL. And I think that's where if we have to share dollars or you have to prioritize your dollars, they need to go to NIL, get us to about the $12 million mark or $13 million mark. And, the challenge with that, Matt, is that's every year.
Yep.
And people don't like to give to losers. So it puts a little more pressure on the coach to win every year, to keep those NIL dollars moving. And I'll say it again, Will Wade is the only guy they could have hired that can put that together and have an opportunity for that to happen.
So, man, I could talk to you forever. John Brady's our guest. So do you think, and you're right, I mean, it's not just can you raise $12 million for a roster in 1 year. You got to do it every year. So the sustainability of that is fascinating. I don't have the answer. I don't think any of us do. We'll see how it all continues to play out. But Do you believe there? So back to the resource question I asked you. Do you believe there are enough people in the state that love LSU that will direct enough dollars to men's basketball to be able to make that kind of a roster investment?
Well, we will see.
Yeah.
And let me say this. I said the first time I was around Will Wade, the first couple of times I was around him, I didn't say anything about his coaching ability or any of that. What I did say, he's a smart guy. And he's not coming in here if some of that stuff isn't guaranteed to him. He's not a dummy. He knows what he's doing. He understands the fan base. He wants to be successful here, but he also knows how to be successful in this day and age of college basketball. And I promise you, I don't know his contract, but I promise you one of his emphasis was, what is my NIL money going to be every single year? I need that guaranteed.
All right, last thing. I'm going to be respectful of your time, but I did want to ask one more. If I ask you to put your coaching hat back on, if they didn't hire Will Wade, they rehired John Brady instead, and they said, all right, you got to go build the roster for next year. How are you doing that? I mean, consider, look, Darius Acuff was just the player of the year in the league as a freshman. So are you going high school? Like, are you going portal? How are you building a roster?
I think it depends on where your contacts are. I think it depends on the individual player. I think it depends on the head coach. You know, Calipari has a track record of players in the NBA. He can show them 70 some odd guys that were either, you know, first round or whatever they were. He's got that track record. He might can get a player for less money because they get to play for a guy like that. Will's got a reputation of that, of eyeing players and getting them to the NBA. So if it was me personally, I would have to have the NIL dollars where it needs to be in the top 4 or 5 in the league, to have an opportunity to get the type of players other schools have. I think the problem with our LSU team over the last 4 years, if you just ask me one common denominator, we never had a first-team All-League player. We didn't have a draft pick. We certainly didn't have a first-round draft pick. Arkansas had 3. They got 3 first-round draft picks starting on their team. That's the difference. So you've got to be able to have comparable talent for the coaching to make a difference. And I think with Will Wade here, I think that's going to happen, and it wouldn't surprise me if it happened next year.
John Brady, 20 years after the Tigers made their 06 run to the Final Four. Congrats, 20 years later. We always appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Anytime. Thanks, Matt.
It's our pleasure. It's John Brady. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com. LMFJ.com. That's the website for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com. Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport. So all over the state of Louisiana. You need that perfect gift. Thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. You can start online. You can walk into any location. You want to schedule a time to go meet with one of their associates, you could do that, or you could just walk in the door. And what you're going to find is you're greeted with an incredible customer service experience. You want cookies on a tray or desserts on a tray or something cold to drink, they'll help you out with that. Make you feel like what you're doing is making a really important purchase, because you are. Hopefully this beautiful piece of jewelry is something that's passed down in your family for generations. And Lee Michaels has been making sure that you're the hero and she's thrilled for 4 decades. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here about halfway home on this Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Alex Milazzo in 45 minutes, talk about LSU baseball. Very similar year so far for the Tigers off their title defense as to what Milazzo and the Tigers had in 2024, 2 seasons ago after the 23 title. So we'll talk to Alex about those similarities and how Jay Johnson managed it and get through the rest of conference play and all that stuff. So we'll do that here in about 45 minutes from right now. Let me knock out a quick break. Did we curse the Pels, who have now lost 5 straight? And really, I guess the bigger question is, might they actually trade Zion Williamson? That rumor's floating out there today. I got some thoughts. We'll do it next. It's AFR.
AFR.
You know, there's so few things in life that are guaranteed. Some things can say they're guaranteed, but when push comes to shove, are they actually? Well, when we talk about Darren James and selling your home, no, he guarantees he's going to sell your home. He calls it his guaranteed, get it? Guaranteed sale program. This is how it works. Call Darren, do an assessment. He's going to sit down with you. You'll agree to a price and a deadline. If Darren doesn't sell your home at that price by that deadline, He'll have your home bought with cash, or he'll sell it for free. So you got nothing to lose. And even better than the results is the customer service experience. There's tons of surveys done. One of the most stressful life experience for people that always rates at the top is moving. Darren tries to make a generally stressful experience an enjoyable, stress-free one. Agent225.com for Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. At Locke Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates, we know each case and client are unique, and that no two cases are the same. But one thing remains constant, and that is our passion to help our clients. After an accident, we know your life has changed, which is why we passionately fight to make you and your family whole. Remember, whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. We're here to serve you.
For the review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Thanks again to John Brady for the time. Craig sent a text. He said, that weekend in Atlanta when LSU punched their ticket to the Final Four. So the weekend in Atlanta was by far my favorite road trip ever for an LSU game, possibly my favorite basketball team of all time. Remember Big Baby running into the stands, dancing with a purple and gold boa around his neck. Good time and great memory. The day that LSU beat Texas to advance to the Final Four, of course, Daryl Mitchell's shot against A&M was incredible. Beating Duke, ending J.J. Redick's career. That was an incredible run. They actually were really in the dogfight in the opening round against Iona. But that day that LSU advanced to the Final Four, my aunt got married that day. And I was an usher in the wedding. All of her nephews were all ushers in the wedding. And so we're like, all the guests are coming in. All the guests. See, Houston, they did a spring wedding. And we still, who would have thought we'd have a conflict?
That's the thing. In 06, you can't just pull out your phone and stream the game. Yeah.
So it was at a church downtown. Baton Rouge. I think it was First United Methodist. I'm almost positive. Isn't that the one at the end of the street right here? If you go up the side of the building, guaranteed go toward the interstate back toward downtown on the left. I think that's it. Anyway, I'm almost positive it was that church. Anyway, so as like all the guests are arriving, we're in our tuxes and boutonnieres and all that stuff, and there's a small, to your point, like there were no cell phone. I mean, the iPhone didn't come out till 07. So this would have been 06. And so there was a small TV in like the back, one of the rooms. I don't know which one of the rooms where everybody was. And so we keep like running back. You walk grandma up the aisle to her seat, and you just like keep. Then she gets her seat instead of going to the back of the church. You go behind the deal to go like in the room. How we doing, man? We got it. We got it.
Just one of those little tiny box TVs.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a little bitty tiny TV. This wasn't no flat screen days, man. Big mounted on the wall. I mean, this was like a TV the size of my surface here. Yeah. So watching that. So that's where I watched that game. Incredible memory, man. What a great time that was. I mean, it's just we've gone so long now without LSU really being nationally relevant in men's basketball that like apathy is set in. I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but the way I've always explained it is there's two extremes with LSU men's basketball. You either have this elation, this buy-in, this passion, or you have apathy. Like you don't have the in between. If LSU's 500 and misses the tournament, like it's not this anger, this furor. It's just people just move on to baseball in February. Or they're looking at the NFL draft, Super Bowl. There's so much to distract from the basketball team not performing. So, and the only way to counterbalance that is have a long enough string of success to where people have consistent buy-in and give a damn. I mean, that's just how it's got to be. That's when Dale Brown had it going. That's the only time in the history of this program where we had that long, sustained, consistent success. Where they went to the postseason, whatever it was, 13 straight years. And they went to 2 Final Fours in the 80s, and you had star players. And, the thing Coach Brady talked about in that conversation we just had was, his best players, while he was at LSU, all of his best players were Louisiana guys, and that's true. But, we started that interview where, he was bringing up memory of 06, which, 06 was just months after Katrina. I mean, Katrina hit at the end of August of 05, which bled into the start of that school year. And, of course, the 05-06 team is the one that went to the Final Four. But, you post-Katrina, I know this is a theory, and I don't know if it's 100% accurate, but you talk to a lot of people or AAU coaches or whatever, and they'll say, look, that's a thing that happened, is the population displacement from in particular New Orleans, but post-Katrina to Texas and other places really affected the youth level basketball in Louisiana, which already didn't have great depth of talent. You would have elite level talent. You'd have, like Coach Brady mentioned, Strohmeyer, who's from North Louisiana, or Brandon Bass or Big Baby from Baton Rouge, or Tyrus Thomas, who went to McKinley. Tasman was at Denham Springs. I mean, you'd have those types of players. There was DJ Augustine from Brother Martin, who ended up going to Texas. I mean, you've had guys from Louisiana, like high-level, top-tier guys. You didn't have great depth of those elite-level guys. And, I mean, even you go back to guys like Randy Livingston, and, there's a long history of it. But I think Coach Brady's also right. In this era, the NIL portal era, where you're from has never mattered less. It's not to say it doesn't matter, it just has never mattered less when you're talking about the money and dollars that are out there. The thing that will be most interesting to me is can Will Wade and Heath Schroyer, who is in our studio with us Monday, generate the type of financial investment in men's basketball needed to build a roster capable of getting to the tournament and making a run? And I don't know the answer to that. I mean, Will did it before, but he did it in a different era. So you come to LSU in this era where you got to have money and resources every year to build that roster. Well, football's always going to get theirs. That's the non-negotiable. But then, Kim needs to get hers, and Jay Johnson needs to get his, and Jay Clark needs to get his. And I mean, there's this real question of if you can actually be good, elite in every sport. And I don't know the answer to that. I think the way that several people have said it is right. You kind of have to decide, what do you want to be good at? Or what do you want to be great at? Well, football is the non-negotiable. After that is where it gets to be a bit ambiguous. But you have all of these superstar coaches that are expecting to have the support and the resources to win at the highest level. Can you actually support that? I don't have the answer. We're going to find out. We're going to find out in time. But I'll just keep saying, I think it is going to necessitate new creative revenue streams. I don't know any other way I can say this. Like the Venture Global on the field or the Woodside Energy jersey patch. And those are two examples of high dollar corporate partner investments that LSU was able to finalize. But it's going to take more. And I don't know what it is. Way smarter people that do this every day at a much higher level are the ones that are going to have to figure that out. But that's going to be the answer to the question is, what does the next iteration of revenue generation within LSU Athletics look like? All right, it's after further review. We are brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. You want to see 2020? Call 924-2020 for the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com. Dr. Blake Williamson and his team, man, they do just awesome work. If you want to ditch the contacts and glasses forever, man, the Williamson Eye Center, they can help. Tell you all the time about Evo ICL. That's the implantable contact lens. Cannot recommend highly enough that you check out all the different options they have. LASIK, Evo ICL, the custom lens replacement, maybe it's PRK. They got locations all over Greater Baton Rouge, Denham, Zachary, Gonzales, of course, here in Baton Rouge with multiple locations. Check them out at williamsoneye.com. That's williamsoneye.com to schedule that free, no obligation eye exam. It's williamsoneye.com, williamsoneye.com. All right, y'all, it is after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. Musa do Tigers and the Pros here to wrap up hour number 2 when we come back. Got a busy 5 o'clock hour straight ahead. If you haven't heard, Trinidad Chamblas made some comments about comparing Lane Kiffin and Pete Golding that have gotten a lot of run. Well, if you missed it, we'll let you hear what Chamblas said, and I'll react to it. That's coming up in 15 minutes. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Was actually over at the office today. Gabe had mentioned something to me. So one of the treatments that they offer is a shockwave therapy, and the idea is to recruit blood flow and healing to an area. So yes, they can do that for ED. It's painless. Don't worry. But they also have that machine that can be used for other possibilities like injury. So I went in today and used it for my back. So you did the shockwave treatment on my back, and they recommend a couple of treatments a week, do about 10 to 12 treatments. So I'm excited to tell you more how those treatments go, but it's just another way of explaining to you, yes, at Goodwood, people know the name and the logo, and it's funny and all that stuff. It's a good eye-catching way to get your attention. But there's so much more than ED. They're HRT, they're peptide therapy, they're healing and having you live your optimal life. So look at yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
If your office is experiencing performance performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized, it'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 five-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Did you get got today by anything?
No, I did not.
Paulie, did you get got by anything?
I have not, no.
Did LSU put out anything?
Not that I saw, which, thank goodness, the purple field thing is so tired.
Well, I mean, that feels like that's been 20 years ago they did that. But good for them for not doing anything. Yeah, I'm looking at their Twitter. I don't see anything. I think now with AI, everybody gets got every day now.
That's fair. That's so fair.
I mean, you had real media people asking Kim Mulkey a question about her retirement based on a fake AI-generated account.
Bro.
Which is so stupid. Like, take 5 seconds, 2 seconds, and just verify that what you're looking at is real. That's, by the way, that's no 3 sports, not on 3 sports. Stop retweeting it.
Or just mute it like I did.
That's not Adam Schefter. That's Adarn Schefter.
Adarn Schefter. He's got some scoop, though. Adarn Schefter.
No, he
yeah,
doesn't.
no, he's got the same sources as Dov Kleeman.
Dov Kleeman is just an aggregator. That's all he's doing. He's taking other people's stories and putting them in a feed, which, okay, but he's a fake guy. There's no human named Dov. We've done, we did this. How long ago did we do the Dov Kleeman?
Man, I can't remember.
We were way ahead of the curve because
Yeah,
it just takes 2 seconds to not be stupid. Just be thoughtful for 2 seconds. Just pause. Before you hit retweet, just pause. Think about it. Adarn Schefter.
Adarn Schefter.
What a guy.
Mm-hmm.
USO. Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Paul Skeens back on the mound for the Pirates today. This one went a little bit more to the norm. 5 innings, 1 earned run, punched out 5.
Skeens-ish.
Got the win. 8 runs. 8
What?
runs for the Pirates today.
Hey.
Yeah.
Pump the brakes.
How about it?
Save some for the sequel.
Hey, man. Keep giving him the run support. Kevin Gausman, his second start of the season, 6 shutout, didn't walk anybody, punched out 10. He's got an 0.75 ERA. But the Blue Jays gave him no run support. They lost 2-1. Yep, how about that? And then Alex Bregman went 1 for 3 today in the Cubs outing. He did drive in a run and walked twice. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. Trust isn't given, it's earned. Winning a championship is hard, and defending one, as we're seeing, is even harder. LSU Baseball knows what it takes. Discipline, teamwork, and trust. FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, is LSU's championship health partner, providing Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From injury prevention to recovery, strength to performance, the Lake helps keep the Tigers ready to compete every game, every series, every postseason run, and that same level of championship care is here for you. Trust the team that cares for the team you love. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, together we roar. Learn more at ololrmc.com/LSU. All right, y'all, it's after further review. SportsCenter's coming up. Going to get you caught up on national headlines here at the top of the hour. Don't get got on Twitter. It's April 1st. When we come back, Trinidad Chamblas made some comments comparing or contrasting Pete Golding and Lane Kiffin. It's got a lot of people in a tizzy. You'll hear him next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Big shout out to Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. I had a great convo earlier today. My buddy Brandon Holly. Always love when we get a chance to visit. Become a great friend over so many years. Brandon and Adrian are awesome people. And those are the people that are running Relief Windows every single day. So whenever I tell you you're calling Relief Windows, you're not just calling a window company with people that are going to sell you wood and glass. What you're doing is you're calling a company that's run by and owned by Brandon and Adrian Holly, are two of the best, most ethical people that I know in my life. And so, yes, they're a premium product. They'll never be the cheapest. But they can't be the cheapest when they offer you the best product, the best service, a true service after the sale experience, a true service department. They have measure techs who measure twice, install once, every window custom made for the specifications of your home. If anything goes wrong ever, there's a lifetime transferable warranty on labor, material, and glass breakage. You will have the best experience ever with Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades too. ReliefWindows.com.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me? Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here, helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim, which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. A Florida judge granted Tiger Woods' request to travel outside the U.S. and enter a comprehensive inpatient treatment facility one day after the 15-time golf major champion said he's stepping away for a period of time to seek treatment and focus on his health. Yesterday, Woods entered a not guilty plea to charges connected to last week's rollover crash in Florida. Baseball, a bounce back for Paul Skeens. 6 days after a rough opening day against the Mets, the Pirates ace in his second start of the season gave up a run, 3 hits, struck out 5 in 5 innings. Pittsburgh defeated Cincinnati 8-3. ESPN MLB insider Jeff Passan.
This was the Paul Skeens that we have grown used to seeing, a guy who has any number of pitches. He can throw a four-seam fastball up to 100. He was more like 96 to 99 today. He's got that splinker, the nasty split finger pitch. He's got a slider. He's got a sweeper. He's got a changeup. I mean, he has a wide and vast array of pitches.
Astros got to Garrett Crochet, 5 runs, 6 hits in 5. Houston beat Boston 6-4. Astros have won 5 in a row after an 0-2 start.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3. Off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You, sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. And oh, by the way, it's a hump day.
It's hump day.
Happy April.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Happy April Fool.
Hump day.
In that vein,
it's hump day.
Big news.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Parish Construction and Roofing.
Hump day.
Got a new location.
It's hump day.
About a month ago, we announced our Austin, Texas location.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Well, with today's events coming here shortly.
Hump day.
Saw this on social media today, just now.
It's hump day.
Newest location of Parish Construction Roofing.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
The moon.
Hump day.
We're going to the moon.
It's hump day.
We landed on the moon!
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I mean, there's all kind of debris flying in space.
Hump day.
Gonna be roof damage up there.
It's hump day.
What's worse, the street leading to the Baton Rouge Parish Construction Roofing Office or the craters on the moon leading to that office?
Ooh.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Is that a better question for Terrio?
Well, I'll tell you, DOTD.
Hump day.
The fact that Muse asked that question and I don't have a good answer tells you need to go fix Lavo Lane.
It's hump day.
I mean, there might be a moon-sized crater on Lavo Lane, actually.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Your very large truck or SUV might just disappear, like into a black hole. It's all right, Muse. Don't worry. I know it's your first time ever doing this.
It's hump day.
You're doing a great job.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
The cadence changes kill me, man.
Hump day.
Hey, Paulie.
It's hump day.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're back.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I'm glad I could even things out from over here.
Hump Day.
I don't know how that has anything to do with anything.
What?
It's Hump Day.
What?
Paul being back. I mean,
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
You wouldn't.
Hump Day.
All right, let's get going here. Alex Milazzo in 10 minutes. Talk some baseball with former Tiger catcher. So Trinidad Chamblas was doing some media availability as Ole Miss is in spring. And he got asked a question about the difference with Lane Kiffin and Pete Golding. It's low-hanging fruit, and what do you expect Ole Miss media to ask? I don't necessarily even fault them for asking the question. It's pretty compelling or obvious storyline. If you're covering that program, there's a new coach, so what's the differences? As I think of it, though, I don't know that any LSU players have been asked, hey, what's the difference between Brian Kelly and Lane Kiffin? Maybe that'll come up. There is media availability on Thursday, so maybe someone will ask that. But Trinidad Chamblas, his answer has gotten an awful lot of attention. I'll play Chamblas's answer for you. It's 23 seconds. I'll play his answer for you, and then we'll come back on the other side of it, and I'll give you some reaction.
I would say, just, the personalities are a little different than, our old coach and, Coach Golding. I'd say he's more of like a team guy. And, we really value, his leadership, whatever he says. He's kind of show you fast as I could tell, or he's show you fast as I could tell you. He leads by his actions, and, we really appreciate that.
First of all, he refers to Lane Kiffin as their old coach. Doesn't say Lane Kiffin or Coach Kiffin by name. Says Pete Golding's more of a team guy and that he leads by his actions. Those three things by most people have been interpreted not so much as a compliment to Pete Golding, but more of a criticism of Lane Kiffin. I don't know necessarily if that's how Trinidad Chamblas meant them to be interpreted, if he was criticizing Kiffin or if he was more complimenting Pete Golding. What I do know is that whatever you want to believe, and I don't just mean you, I mean the universal you. Whoever you are, wherever you are, through whatever prism you're looking at this or listening to that soundbite. If you're someone who thinks Lane Kiffin is a low-down, dirty, rotten scoundrel who left his team before the playoff, you're going to think that's Trinidad Chamblas confirming that he stinks. If you're someone who is an LSU fan and you want Lane Kiffin to be awesome here and you're fired up that he's in Baton Rouge and he left those runts to come coach LSU at a real school in a real stadium, then you're going to go, well, screw Trinidad Chamblas. He's mad because his coach left. Or how about the loyalty of the guy who brought you there? I mean, that's going to be the narrative. What I'll tell you about, I get two real reactions from me for this. Number one is, I'll remind you, one of the things Trinidad Chamblas said throughout the whole process of what was going to happen with Kiffin staying, going, leaving, all that stuff. The week that Ole Miss was getting ready to play Tulane in their first-round college football playoff game, Trinidad Chamblas was asked a question that if he was granted a waiver, what would that mean? Would he be back at Ole Miss if he were granted a waiver? Now, this is months ago, and which feels like lifetimes ago, considering how much this whole thing has continued to evolve. But at that time, the strongly held belief by most was that Chamblas and Keywan Lacey and Deuce Alexander, some other guys, were going to end up in Baton Rouge with Kiffin. Like, that was the strongly held belief. Now, we know what happened. Ole Miss kept winning. It became very complicated. The portal was open, and Ole Miss was still playing. And so Chamblas, at that point, they wanted enough. He wasn't going to leave, and Ole Miss prioritized. And we all know what happened, okay? But at this point, the widely held belief was that Chamblas was going to go in the portal and end up with Lane Kiffin in Baton Rouge. So this was the week before the Tulane game when Chamblas was asked that question if he got a waiver.
I would have to consider, what the best situation is for me, what I feel most comfortable with, who I trust the most, and just get a feel for, every possibility, really. So there's a lot that goes into that.
Boy, did Ole Miss fans melt when they heard that. He also said, did you hear him? Who I trust the most? Because we all know what the context of what that was he was supposed to be coming to LSU and joining Lane Kiffin. Who I trust the most? Would he? By the way, he could have stayed at Oxford, in Oxford with Ole Miss. Pete Golding was his coach at that point, who's already been installed as the permanent head coach. So if what you're suggesting is that this was a zero-sum game, Chamblas was always going back to Ole Miss, loves Pete Golding, hates Lane Kiffin. Like, let's remember some context here. What I will say is this. There was an era of college football where I think where being relational as opposed to transactional was paramount. If you were a great recruiter, you were great at building relationships with the player, with the player's family, with the high school coaches, with your staff, whatever. It was relational. Because the schools that had the resources were all sort of on a level playing field. And it was going to be about who you have the best relationship with, who's going to help you get to the pros, play the most, all that stuff. It's no longer like that. It's no longer relational, it's transactional. If you have a tie, the relationship may be the thing that breaks the tie. Or like if you're a kid from Louisiana who just wants to play at LSU, but you have an offer for $5 million from another school. Well, if LSU's at 4.5 and this school's at 5, maybe you take the discount to stay home to play your dream school. Like that could happen. I'm just throwing out numbers, by the way. But the point is, I think that in a different era, Pete Golding being more personable, relational, whatever, would certainly have served him well. In this era, I don't think it matters quite as much. And I'll give you an example of somebody that worked again, that did not work for LSU. And it's Jakeem Stewart. This is maybe the quintessential example. From New Orleans, being recruited by Frank Wilson, St. Aug, New Orleans high school legend. Frank does all the work to get Jakeem Stewart transferred from St. Aug to Edna Carr, reclassed, early enrolled, all the stuff. And Jakeem Stewart went to USC because USC paid him more than LSU did or was willing to. In a different era, 100 times out of 100, that kid's at LSU. 100 times out of 100. In this era, SC paid him more. He went to USC. All that to say, in this era, having a coach in Lane Kiffin who is, I think, clearly more transactional. I don't think Lane Kiffin is the guy that is going to go get to know every player on his roster and know their parents' names and their siblings' names and let them cry on their shoulder. I don't think that's Lane Kiffin. And in another era that might have worked against him, in this era, I just don't think it matters. I think it's far more like the NFL. And you have some guys that are players, coaches, and some guys that are just there to win. And you can be both. Not everyone is. And if this were 5 to 10 years ago, I might worry more about that. In this era, I don't worry about it as much. So you can make of that comment from Trinidad Chamblas what you want. Because the bottom line is, whatever you thought about Lane Kiffin before Trinidad Chamblas made that comment, you will only use that comment as evidence to support your feeling, whatever that feeling is. My opinion is, I don't really care what Chamblas said. What I care about is seeing LSU win a lot. And I think they have a great coach who's capable of doing it in this era because they'll always have the resources to do it. I think he's a really good offensive coach. And was able to retain a defensive staff and build a great roster. So let's see if they can go do it come September. And that third week of the season when LSU goes to Oxford is going to be amazing theater. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. Come back. Alex Milazzo will be here. We'll talk about LSU baseball. Stick around.
After further review.
It's time, y'all. It is time to call River City's 1 Hour Air. Have you called yet to schedule your AC tune-up? If you've not yet called to schedule your preseason AC tune-up, it's time. I'm going to give you the phone number in just a second, so get out your phone, get out a pen, write it down, type it in your computer, whatever. I'm going to give you the number to River City's 1 Hour Air in just a second, but I want you to remember, this is seasonal maintenance that is standard, that you should do every single year. Before the 100-degree temps come, you should have River City's 1 Hour Air out to your house to do your AC tune-up. Just like in the winter, you should do the heater safety check. every year around this time, before you get to the summer, you should do the AC tune-up. Before that thing is running around the clock. You want to make sure it's efficient, that it's safe, it'll save you money, it'll last. If there are issues, small issues don't become big, expensive issues, call River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Investing in a new roof doesn't have to be overwhelming. At Pelican Roofing, we offer 0 interest for 21 months because everyone deserves a safe, secure home. Trusted, local, affordable. Pelican Roofing, making quality roofing affordable for South Louisiana families.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Very happy. We need him. You know, both him and Omar, I think, are good offensive players, and, you know, they're going to stay good offensive players if they can spell each other on the defense. And so it was good to get him back in there, and I liked his first swing, RBI single with 2 strikes, walked early in the game, scored a couple runs, and that was really, really good to see. And again, like, you know, you put him in a situation like that where that's the 9-hole hitter, you could lose track of him, and he can drive in runs and be a productive player down there.
Jay Johnson talking about Kader and Beatty return for the Tigers on Tuesday night, the run rule win against Southern. Guy who knows what it's like to be the backstop for Jay Johnson is Alex Milazzo, good enough to hang with us for a couple minutes here. Yo, man, how are you?
Doing good, Matt. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. We appreciate it. Wish the Tigers were playing a little better, but still time to go. Give me a thought, if you would, on what you've seen so far from Kader and Beatty and Cerna there behind the plate.
Yeah, I think you got 2, what I would say, younger guys behind the plate, and they're catching a what I would consider pretty talented pitching staff as far as, you know, velocity, off-speed pitches, all that stuff. And I think it's at times can be kind of tough, going from pitcher to pitcher and adjusting to that. But so far, I think they've done a pretty good job of managing that as a whole.
There's been this staff's had an issue walking people. There's no other way to say it, Alex. I mean, they're pacing potentially to walk more than any staff in LSU history. When you watch them from the perspective being a catcher, what do you see as maybe being an issue there?
Yeah, I think I truly think you got a very talented pitching staff, and with that, I think there's going to be a lot more swing and miss in there, and there's going to be a lot of pitches in there that hitters are going to take because potentially not seeing it well or anything like that. So when it comes to that, you got a talented, high-level pitching staff. I think you could see the walks creep up when you're not commanding the strike zone as much, to the point where guys are taking pitches because maybe they don't recognize it. You got guys throwing with a lot more velo. Therefore, you have to be in the strike zone. And I think just some of the misses at times can get a little big to where guys are spraying it around the plate, and hitters for the other team, it's almost an automatic no at times when the misses are kind of sprayed around, and then when it's in the zone, it's easily, easier to recognize that when guys are spraying it. But I do think there's a lot of talent on the staff, and there's a lot of swing and miss too. So you're going to have to throw strikes to force batters to kind of move the bat.
As a catcher, what could you do as a catcher to help there?
I think the biggest thing is some of these guys rolling out on the mound are young, and obviously with the transfer portal, this is the first time they're going through SEC, which I still believe the SEC's baseball-wise is different than anywhere else in the country. So I think just as a catcher, just reinforcing what's coming from the pitching coach and kind of expectations that, hey, man, when you step on that mound, we're not trying to strike everybody out, and getting those guys kind of settled in and having a strong presence behind the plate, really just in body language, whether it's talking, understanding the guy that's on the mound, and just kind of, I don't want to say being his biggest cheerleader, but being right there with them. I guess you could say in the foxhole with them, and then also having that presence behind the plate, I think is huge, and being able to go out to the mound and talk a guy through a big situation, or having him really kind of settling in and understanding like, hey, this guy's speeding up and the game's getting a little fast on him, being able to, change how you throw the ball back to him to slow his tempo down, or even go out there yourself without a coach having to call a timeout and settle him in.
Alex Milazzo is our guest. I'm glad you brought up in that answer the pitching coach. So you got to work with multiple. Of course, Yeskie was there. His first season was your final season in 24. And we've seen this before. Absolutely, we saw it last year, man. Guys like Chase Shores, who struggled early and became so dominant by the end. What would you say is how Nate Yeskie is able to help develop pitchers during the season?
I think the biggest thing for Coach Yeskie is he's not a guy that's just gonna go out and work with, like, let's say these 5 to 10 arms, and that's where his focus is. He's always, and something I was really impressed with working with Coach Yeskie is he's all about developing the entire staff, and even throughout the season, you would watch him putting a big emphasis on a guy that might not be at the head of rotation, or might not even be available or is on the active roster for the weekend and in bullpens that week. He's putting the same amount of time and effort into those guys and developing them, because at some point in time you could lose an arm due to injury, or that guy, you plan on that guy staying in your program for the next season. So I think he does a great job of managing the pitching staff as a whole and putting in the time and effort with each guy. But something I really loved about Coach Yeski was just the competitive mindset, and not only that, just kind of his temperament. You know, he's he's got some fire to him at times, but he's very, very even keel. You know, no matter how good things get at times or how bad things get at times, he's very even keel, and he's always coaching, and he doesn't let the emotions kind of take over that aspect of things.
Alex Milazzo is our guest, former Tiger catcher, of course, national champ in 2023. Is there when you watch this team, obviously you're going to watch it through a different lens than we are. Is there a young arm that maybe you've been really impressed by for whatever reason that's caught your eye?
I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of bad with names.
It's all good. You got a jersey number?
But there is a lefty I've been watching and paying close attention to that I think I'm drawing a blank here.
Is it 38? Is it Plog?
There's Plog. There's one more. It kind of reminds me of Griffin Herring. Drawing a blank here.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Comes in a lot of middle relief situations, but he's one definitely. And I mean, obviously you got Kaysen Evans, you got Schmidt on the mound, and those guys are ultra talented. And I definitely think the ceiling, there's really no ceiling on those guys. But I definitely look for your starters to, kind of after going through pre-SEC, pre-conference play, and now that they're kind of in conference play, I look for those guys to kind of settle in and start giving you 6 to 7 innings. I definitely think they're capable of that throughout this SEC play.
So Santiago Garcia has been sort of a situational lefty reliever. I'm not sure if that's who you're talking about. Cooper Williams.
I think it's Cooper Williams.
Yeah, Cooper Williams is the big lefty, the big, tall, long lefty.
Yes.
Okay. He's been really good in spots this year, man. I know they'd love to see him maybe factor into the rotation at some point, have a left-handed guy in the rotation.
Yeah, and I think a big thing too is a lot of people lose sight, not to go back to the previous year, but it feels very similar to I was part of both teams in 23 and in 24 season. It feels similar to that 24 season. And I think something to kind of, not to make note of or anything, but, you go through a year where you have like a 23 season, then a 25 season, and you go deep and you win it all. And in order to get there, I mean, a lot of those teams, it's a lot of veteran guys, even if they were first-year players coming in through the portal. You got a lot of veteran guys on a team like that eventually move on, whether they graduate or go pro, and obviously it takes talent. So you got a lot of guys going pro as juniors and seniors, and now you fast forward to the next season, and you got a lot of guys doing things that they hadn't done before, or being called upon to do things that they might not have had to do in the previous year. So I definitely look for this team to settle in and kind of hit their stride.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it a ton, Alex. I mean, you in 24, you all were 3-12 at the halfway point of conference play, and you ended up obviously 10-5 in the second half to go 15-15, and you, or I guess, well, it would have been 13 wins, but anyway. But the point is, you all made it to regional. I mean, you were right there on the cusp of winning the Chapel Hill Regional. How did Jay handle that team when you all were struggling in the first half of conference play?
I think the biggest thing is I don't think there's a better coach in college baseball than Coach Johnson, and I really don't think there's a better staff as a whole than what you have at LSU and the resources you have. And, everything, I would say Coach Johnson does a great job of giving you just basically giving you the information to the test. I mean, he's going to lay out the answers for you before you take the test, which is playing the game. And part of that is how we practice, which he doesn't even call it practice. He calls it training. But I think that's a big thing. And I think the biggest thing from the top is somebody like Coach. He never hits the panic button, and I think that's huge having a head coach like that, where you're not hitting the panic button and then panic sets throughout the team. He kind of, he just keeps chipping away, and super positive and stuff like this. But not only that, I mean, you're gonna practice throughout the season, and he's gonna continue developing you, and each guy's gonna continue developing. That's one of his big things, and I think I don't know of any teams that normally practice how we do during the season, and the emphasis on getting better throughout the season. So I think that's one of the biggest things. I think that's part of the reason why Coach has been so successful late in the year, and I just kind of found playing under him that you're always hitting your stride and you're playing your best towards the end of the season, which is a big emphasis, I know, coming from him.
The evidence supports it. Hey, before you go, if a guy from the opposing team hit a homer and bat flipped about 50 feet in the air, what would you do?
I mean, if it was our team, I'd be all for it. But
No. The opposing team. You're standing there, and dude throws a bat out of the screen from the TV camera. What are you doing?
I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say I'd start a fight or a brawl or nothing, but I definitely have some words for him. I mean, that's just me, but I loved it.
Me too.
That was kind of the exclamation point. But at the same time, I mean, look, pitchers are going to celebrate nowadays. Batters are going to celebrate. So you know what? If at the end of the day, if you didn't want a guy bat flipping that high on you, you probably shouldn't have gave up a homer.
Hell yeah, bro. Bat flip to the moon. I'm here for it, man. I'm here for all that energy.
I love the emotion. I mean, it gets the fans fired up and everything. So I thought I kind of liked the response, playing Kentucky. Coach Mingione, he does a great job. And, I mean, he's all about distractions and stuff. They're going to be chippy. They're going to be talking. So I kind of like the exclamation point and liked how kind of like the fire that this team showed throughout that series.
Are they the most annoying team to play?
Probably not the most annoying.
Who is? Tennessee?
It's just because I hate him. I hate Vandy.
Okay. I hate the fact that they wear softball uniforms to play baseball. Yeah. I hate the Whistler. Why do you hate Vandy?
Part of the reason is that dang Whistler.
Bro, right? Has anybody ever told him anything? Like players?
I don't know. That's just an aggravating program. There's a bunch of schoolboys.
Dude, I love it so much, dude. I'm right there with you, though, man. Like, the Vandy Whistler's atrocious. He ruins everything. I can't believe no Vanderbilt play. Like, Alex, that's going to stop when a Vanderbilt player is mid at bat and turns around and goes, "Shut up!"
Like, I can't believe they let that crap go on.
I'm with you, dude.
I'm not a big fan of that.
No, he's the worst.
Stuff. I don't know.
I'm right here with you.
Tryhards.
I'm right. A bunch of tryhards. I love it so much. Alex Milazzo, national champ. Hey, what are you doing now, man? Fill everybody in.
Man, I am working, living the life, married, raising a dog, training him for hunting purposes, hunting all across the country, duck hunting all across the country, and enjoying life. That's for sure. I'm not stressing about the next baseball game. That's for sure. The biggest issue right now I got is I lost my wedding ring, so I got to find that thing.
Why did it come off?
Man, I hate wearing that dang thing for some reason. I don't know. I just need to get a tattoo or something on my finger. I normally take it off when I get home, and I don't know. I lose crap all the time.
Hey, man, get the little rubber wedding bands. I made that change not long, mostly because like I kept gaining and losing weight, so my ring wouldn't fit, and you have to get a resize or get a new one. So finally, I just went to the rubber ones. You barely even tell it's on your finger.
Yeah, I'm hoping I don't have to get a resize anytime soon. I'm gonna try to keep that married weight off.
Yeah, bro. Stay at your playing weight. Life's way better when you stay at your playing weight. Hey, man, great to catch up as always, man. Thank you for the time. We'll visit down the road, all right?
Yeah, appreciate it, Matt. Y'all have a good one.
Same, man. Same to you. It's Alex Milazzo. It's After Further Review, brought to you by First South Farm Credit, FirstSouthLand.com. A guy talking about training his hunting dog. You know what you got? You know what you need if you got a hunting dog? You need hunting property. You need somewhere to go hunt. You know who can take care of that? First South Farm Credit, FirstSouthLand.com, FirstSouthLand.com. People buying hunting property. It's time of the year, man. You just off a hunting season. You don't want to be hunting on someone else's property next year. You want to be hunting on your own land. Cool. Let First South Farm Credit help. FirstSouthLand.com. FirstSouthLand.com. It's not just agriculture. Yeah, they can get you 1,000 acres for agriculture if you need that. But you want to buy that 20 acres of land to build your dream home, you can do it. Maybe you work in New Orleans, but you want to live on the North Shore. You want that land in Tangipahoa Parish. They can help you with that. They got office in Amite. It's First South Farm Credit. And it's great tax benefits as well as a landowner. So maybe ask your CPA about the benefits of owning recreational timberland. FirstSouthLand.com, FirstSouthLand.com. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Been a really good show. You miss anything, you can catch it on demand. We recap the LSU win over Southern. Let's hear from Zach Wilson interview he did with WWL Radio. Circle back to some of what Lane Kiffin had to say during his press conference a day ago. Tigers will be back on the practice field on Thursday. We'll be there for that media availability, and we'll let you know what we see. We're not going to break, come back, and a few potential changes coming to the NFL season in 2026 and beyond. We'll talk about next, and Jimmy's here in about a dozen minutes. It's AFR.
After Further Review.
REV. Let's Rev. Let'sRev.com. 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 Remember, when we're talking about Rev, this is for your home or for your business. So this is your internet service provider. So if you're not happy with your current internet service provider, you need to call Rev. Or maybe you are happy with your internet service provider, but you're just not aware yet that there's a better option, because at Rev, they're local. And when you call Rev, that call center, you're not getting forwarded to a call center overseas or in another state. They're right here in South Louisiana. And also, they're going to have better pricing, better people, and quite honestly, better service. Because at Rev, they're backed by an all-fiber network and lightning fast speeds up to 5 gigs. Make everything with your business or at your home more efficient. They also do phone and cable and security and home automation, all of it. Let'sRev.com. REV. Let'sRev.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
The Cane's Box Combo, a symphony of flavors. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
At Parrish, we bring the same commitment to your home that champions bring to the game.
Do business with someone you know. Parrish Construction and Roofing.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
If your office is experiencing performance Performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files? Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
The NFL owners approved a couple of changes to the league's replay review system on Tuesday. One of them is contingent with the NFL using replacement officials this season, if that does in fact come to pass. The other will take effect if there's an official's work stoppage or not. They broke off collective bargaining talks in the last week of May last week, as that the expiration of that contract looms. We saw this a decade ago when the NFL used replacement officials, and it was an absolute disaster. It would expand the authority of staffers in the league's office to assist replacement refs from the command center in New York City. That's if they end up using replacement officials. So things like uncalled penalties or other sort of administrative things. So that would be a tremendous help if they're able to help. Also, the staff members would be allowed to alert replacement refs if a flag should not have been thrown, and there's video evidence that the call should not have been made. So I love all of that stuff. If it were to play out that way, I wish they would use that anyway. It shouldn't matter if there's replacement refs or not. Get the call right. I'm always about that. So yes, please get the call right. The other changes, they've sort of eliminated a team's incentive to kick the ball out of bounds on kickoffs from the 50-yard line. The teams are now allowed to declare an onside kick at any point in the game. That arose because teams wanted to be able to use an onside kick if a penalty was enforced that led them to kick off from the 50. So instead of just at the end of the game. So a few of those things are changes that are coming to the NFL. But really the thing that's paramount is if there are, in fact, replacement officials. So if that happens, we'll revisit all of this. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you aboard with us. The other thing I kind of wanted to circle back to as well before we get to Jimmy, and Otterlocks, our post up at LouisianaSports.net. You might remember earlier in the offseason, Dabo Sweeney went full on, set ablaze to everything, reading the receipts from Pete Golding and Austin Thomas, all the tampering allegations. Well, Pete Golding had media availability on Tuesday at spring practice for Ole Miss, and he was asked about Dabo's tampering allegations. So this is the first on-the-record comments Golding has made since then.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think there's two sides to every story, right? So I'm not going to sit up here and use the podium as a grandstand and all that, right? I mean, that's why there is enforcement. That's why we have a compliance office, right? They do all that. So, the bottom line, the recruitment of Luke, he came on an official visit, right, prior to the Fiesta Bowl. And I told him, hey, I want you to be our green dot Mike, but right now we got a green dot Mike, right? And that spot's not going to be available until we don't have, until we have one available. And so I want you. He wants to be here. I said, but right now there ain't a spot available. So if that spot becomes available, it's yours, right? So it's a kid that wanted to be here, that we wanted to be here, that at the end of it came open, and he's here, and we're happy to have him.
Obviously, that was T.J. Daugherty, who left Ole Miss and came to LSU. Not addressing the allegations and saying there's two sides to every story it's a bit insulting to you and me, who saw text messages between the coach, the GM, and the player that are time-stamped and dated, which is very clear. It's very clearly tampering. Whether or not the NCAA chooses to investigate, to enforce, remains to be seen. And I'm not gonna sit here in some ivory tower and throw stones at Ole Miss, I'm going to tell you the same thing I said today as when it was happening. But by the grace of God, there go I. Because if somebody wanted to go dig and find receipts on your coach, and I don't care who your coach is, maybe you're an LSU fan, maybe you're a Florida fan, maybe you're an Oklahoma fan, maybe you're a Missouri fan. I don't care. Everybody's doing it. And so just like LSU fans had to live with the Will Wade situation back 7 years ago, same thing could be true now for any school in any sport. Tampering happens. It happens everywhere with everyone and everything always. So be careful throwing stones in the glass house, I guess, is the thing. But also, Pete Golding, don't tinkle on my head and tell me it's raining. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. We're going to knock out our final break of the show. We'll come back, and we'll wrap up with Otterlocks, find out what we're betting on tonight. Stick around here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan, injury attorneys. Hey, I want you to go to gordonsgrads.com. 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 Because Gordon has now launched yet again the laptop giveaway. So every year around graduation time, Gordon gives away MacBooks, laptops to graduating high school seniors who are going to a Louisiana college or trade school as an opportunity to kind of get a leg up as you start the next phase of your education. So if you want to enter for the opportunity to win one of these MacBooks or laptops as you begin the next chapter of your education, you can go to gordonsgrads.com to get all the info. You got to submit an essay or a 90-second video saying why you deserve to win, but you can go submit your entry over at gordonsgrads.com through the end of this month. April 30th is the deadline. gordonsgrads.com.
It's not easy to be a champion.
It's built from every swing, pitch, and game all season long. In the grind, the focus,
and in the recovery.
FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake experts provide best-in-class care for our state's world-class athletes. Because it takes a champion to care for champions.
I trust the lake to keep me at my best.
From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Who bears the standard? Who sets the bar? It's not those satisfied by low-hanging fruit or by taking it easy. No, the standard is set by the best of us, by those who work hard. Dig deeper. Give more. At Sunshine, we're proud to provide John Deere products that work hard for you, the standard bearers. Find the dealer nearest you at sunequip.com.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose. Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. YourGoodwood.com. YourGoodwood.com. One thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. It's time for Otterlocks.
Otterlocks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
You, Otter, what up?
Your boy Schlittler looked good again today.
Yep.
Closed it out.
Schlittler.
Three final. Yep.
Schlittler. Had a 4-0 lead in that game.
Yeah, they held on. They got a little interesting at the end, but the little lab pitcher, he was throwing 90 before they got him in the Yankees high velocity lab, and man, there you remember him last year in the playoffs. So Yankees off to a good start. Man, they're built for a run as far as their depth as well. So and Big Boy is struggling right now. So
lock it up. Championship. TJ Houshmadilla.
They got a team out west. They might have something to say with that, but
not worried about
it. We'll see. They're really good. They're really good this year.
TJ Houshmadilla. TJ, who's your mama? Lock it up. Championship.
little Big George is gone. You realize that, right? He's gone.
Yeah, I know. Trust me. I know.
Yes, you know. Let's get to the crown tonight. This is one of these NIT Vegas tournaments pay-for-play deal. We got a little purse tiered on how the teams finished. 18 field. 2 quarterfinals tonight, 2 quarterfinals tomorrow. Matt, boy, we really rode the Oklahoma Sooners, man. They lost so many close games over the course of the regular season and finally got hot. They were covering at the end of the regular season. We had them every time in the SEC tournament. They were 3-0 against the spread. Obviously, they won their first 2 games, lost their last. But this is out of hand, man. They're up to 8.5. It was at 9.5 earlier, but today it's settling at 8.5. Colorado's a solid team. That's just way too many points in a tournament like this. We're going to take the Colorado Buffaloes plus the 8.5. Then the nightcap's going to tip off right around 9:30 tonight. Baylor in Minnesota. Baylor, underachieving team. Minnesota, maybe a little bit overachieving. I like the fact that you have one coach that's been coaching championships, coached a lot of tournament games, and a veteran coach. You got another coach who's a first-year coach from Colorado State, Enrico Medvedev, and man, they're excited to play here. And remember, Nebraska won it last year. They kind of catapulted that championship into what they thought was some momentum carrying into this year. But I just like this kind of a minor bowl game here. Minnesota's way more excited to play than Baylor. We're going to take the 3.5 in that one.
Yeah, it's interesting that the who's actually excited to be there angle certainly can play here. So Colorado plus 8.5, Minnesota plus 3.5. 2 dogs tonight in the Crown Tournament on the hardwood. Where are you tomorrow?
We are at we are at the Bally's. We are at the DraftKings Sportsbook tomorrow. Yes, 11 a.m., 1 p.m. We're making our last push for their March Madness promotion. So looking forward to getting back where we started off the first 2 days of the NCAA basketball tournament.
All right, Otter. Good luck. Thanks for the time as always.
All right, good luck.
All right, man. We'll see you. That's Jimmy Ott. Catch Jimmy and Charlie every weekday, 11 to 1, live at lunch. I want to remind you about Arco Power System. Generators built for businesses, as they say at Arco Power Systems. Our business is your business. It's what they do and how they do it. They're the backbone that supports this region when people are getting through hurricanes, bad storms. They've literally had Black Hawk helicopters and National Guard pick up their workers to bring them to get essential systems back online. And yes, when we talk about hospitals and plants and key facilities and municipalities, Arco is there for that, but also grocery stores and gas stations and banks and schools and everything that might need industrial generator power. Basically, when the power goes out, what does that mean for your business? Arco Power Systems offers these critical backup energy solutions, and everything's turnkey. They can sell, service, install, rent you those industrial Generac generators for your business. Arco.com, Arco.com, ARCCO, Arco.com. And remember, not just Baton Rouge. North to Little Rock, east to Mobile, west to San Antonio. Draw a big circle. If you're in that footprint, they service you. Arco Power Systems, ARCCO. That's Arco.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Big shout out, as always, to Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, title sponsor on our Wednesday shows all throughout the year. LSU football is back on the practice field Thursday morning. We do have media availability, so we'll make sure on tomorrow's show we'll get you a practice report. We'll have player interviews. Kendall Rogers will be here tomorrow. Ben McKee, who covers the Vols, will preview the LSU Tennessee baseball series. So a ton on tomorrow's show. We'll look forward to seeing you then. Muse, Paulie, thanks. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
Rained yesterday. Rain today. Rain in the forecast tomorrow. We live in Louisiana, in the mold capital of the world. Rain, humidity. It is wet and humid. Breeding ground for mold. If you have mold or think you might, you need Parish Restoration. ParishRestoration.com, ParishRestoration.com, ParishRestoration.com. That's the website. Jim Woodworth and his team do an awesome job. This is so easy. They come by and they spray their patented non-toxic dry fog. If it's mold, if it's odor, if you need to sanitize, maybe you got, viruses going around, sicknesses going around, work, your office, church, school, workout facility, any public place, or your home. From the largest commercial building in the state to your home, anywhere in between, you need Parish Restoration. Give them a shout or log on to ParishRestoration.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google, based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
Everything you need for a stunning garden is at the Plant Barn in Baton Rouge. From trees and shrubs to plants and pottery, the Plant Barn has it all at great prices. Visit us today on Valley Street, right off Perkins Road in South Downs.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.